Hello and welcome to LCK Challenger League live at the WDG Esports Studio. I'm Valdez, with me is Walt, and we are getting ready to go into a very long day of Challenger games. Not Academy, even though it's Gen.G Global Academy and T1 Esports Academy. Doesn't matter. This is the Challenger League.
This is the LCK Challenger League, and it is going to be very exciting today, so I'm glad that you guys have decided to stop by and join us. We have 3 best of 3s coming at you guys tonight, and I'm just putting it out there, you know, this is one of those days where it feels like it's been a really long time since I've cast Challengers. I don't know why, because it's the Tuesday to Monday for me, where it's actually been less time.
Days, yeah.
But it's been less time than usual. Like, next week, it'll actually be an additional day until I cast Challengers.
Because did last week really happen?
Yeah, not really.
I mean, those games last week, at least you guys got 5 games. That was like a little bonus game we weren't expecting, but our Monday was like 6 games that were all 23 minutes long.
We also had in the LCK, Brion beating D plus Kia, and that was the only series that went 3 in the entire week of LCK. It was otherwise complete 2-0 stomps.
Why do you think that's happening? There must be a reason. Is it just the matchups?
I think the matchups last week were really not great. Also,
for LCK, but what about Challengers?
Challengers, I think it might be more meta related. I don't know. It's weird because
Meta-Athener.
I hope he's watching.
Shout out to Alice.
Yeah. But I do think that, like, the way that the meta is going right now, there's not a, or at least the way the Koreans are playing the meta and drafting, like, we're seeing a lot of runbacks. We're seeing not a lot of draft adaptation, especially from weaker teams. Like, we definitely, it wasn't because of the draft. I'm like, well, it was significantly in part due to the draft.
Yeah. I think especially nowadays where there's a lot of new tech coming out, like, there are a bunch of things you can change in the draft. It's not really like, okay, well, we just draft Zeri, Lulu, Lucianami, or whatever every single time. As we're taking a look at the results from Day 3 and Day 4, these are the matches that we don't actually live broadcast in English. These are only co-streamed, so you guys can kind of catch up on what happened. As you'll see, there was only one best of 3 that won 3 games here as well.
But it was also an upset, you know. Hanwha Life Esports beating DRX, taking their first loss of the season. That was a bit of an interesting one. You know, I didn't see all the details of what went down, but just to see the result alone makes me wonder what could happen in our Hanwha Life versus KT series later on today. Hanwha Life versus KT last season would have been a really hype matchup. This season, you know, it depends on Hanwha's form, right? But this gives me hope that maybe we'll have a banger because they were able to take out DRX. As DRX haven't changed their roster, it's the Academy team, not the Challengers team that that they did pull from in their regular squad in the LCK.
Yes. Yeah, DRX was looking good, but Hanwha Life Esports on the up and up. Kwangdong Freaks once again struggling, so Gen.G might have a good chance today as well after their 2-0. Dia is Academy? No, this is Challengers.
Challengers.
So make sure you... No, I'm just kidding. Not gonna bring out the Korean. Here are the standings. Damwon, D plus Kia are
formerly Damwon.
Yes, formerly Damwon Gaming, now D plus Kia, 4-0, the strongest team. They have not dropped a single game. They are insane. And
yeah, they're pretty
playing
good
today.
They are playing
as
today.
Well.
And you know, Rahel, he had up and down performance, let's say, against OK Savings Bank Brion in that LCK match that was played last week. But Deft is now doing better, so he's, you know, I don't think we'll be seeing him anymore in the LCK for now, but we'll see if he can bounce back. It's a pretty easy matchup, you could argue, against 8th place T1 here for D plus Kia. I mentioned that Hanwha Life versus KT series we're going to have, and then the first series, weirdly enough, feels like the most exciting one to me today, Gen.G versus Bro, because Bro actually looking kind of good this season.
Look at Hanwha Life Esports and KT. They're both 2-2. One is 7th, one is 4th.
Yeah, a bit of a game score difference there for Hanwha having some really rough series early on. If they hadn't won against DRX, they'd be down with T1.
Yeah, very true. As is there hope to beat DK? Valdez said maybe DRX, but they look unstoppable right now. I would say that maybe, but I think it's right now, unfortunately, almost definitely not T1. I think T1 are struggling. They brought up Popey. They're kind of mixing with the roster. Smash looks like he's trying to hard carry, but it's not really going so well. Of course, guys, this is the first day of week 3, technically. We're on Monday, and so we're going to take a look at what happened in week 2.
Yeah, Lulu having an insanely high win rate with a bunch of games played. The same to be said of Ari and Gnar. Lee Sin still a popular pick here in Challengers and sitting at 8-4. Coming back in the LCK actually a little bit because we're seeing a little bit more commitment to hard dive. And Lee Sin is also very impactful pre-6 in bottom side plays. We've seen it a lot. So not surprised by this. Here are some of what we like to call our bait picks or trap picks. Wukong,
bad champions as well, is what I would call them.
Sometimes we like to say these ones you should stay away from.
These ones suck. Don't say that in the chat though. Nightbot's gonna get you.
Wukong, he was like what 1-7 at the beginning of week 2 for LCK. He's now 0-8 in Challengers. Yumi also, I think, a pick that is very strong but is not seeing a lot of success because of her lane weaknesses. And Annie, that win rate is pretty deceiving. I think in the right hands of the team that's coordinated, she is still one of the best picks right now. But when everyone's playing her, yeah, like both these picks, like when everyone's playing her, you know, and him, usually you end up around 50. The fact that it's down at 30 is a little bit unusual.
Yeah. Well, Gen.G Global Academy, otherwise known as GGA. This is their Challengers team, of course, not Academy. That is very confusing. Up against OK Man Breon, OK Savings Bank.
Otherwise known
sponsor.
as Giga Chad.
Yes, otherwise known as Giga Chad. Otherwise known as the OK Man Squad. Coming out here, the bros. But Gen.G looking much better this season. It's been nice to see them on the come up here. Ophelia back in the mid lane.
Yeah, he had a rough start on his Annie in their week 1 match, but then in week 2 bounced back in a big way. And this team looks pretty good right now, to be honest. Carface had a good run of it, and it's really been Winner and Ophelia for me who have been the big standout players, but we'll see if in this match today they can continue that momentum, taking that upset win in a 3-gamer against KT last week. They got Zeri, and it worked very well for them, and we were making a lot of jokes about it, but I think Zeri's still very strong in this meta, and in this matchup, obviously, against this team on the other side, I would favor them as Karis. Gonna have to wake up before we start this one, but okay, he
actually looked like he was asleep.
For just a second, I was kind of like
he wasn't doing the downloading thing. He was actually just sleeping.
Like temporarily unconscious, but he's back now, and I mean, like this roster is struggling a little bit. The LCK roster is struggling a little bit. They sent Karis down here, and Ivory is actually, you know, while being relatively muted, it seems like he's changed the dynamic quite significantly for the LCK team. So might be seeing Karis here for a while.
Here's Zest. He did choose a name that many Korean pro gamers do have.
Yeah, it's about time to stop picking this name, guys.
Yeah,
seriously.
Zest, it's a good name. I understand why you would want it, but at the same time, don't pick it because too many people have it. His KDA is 13 already. You'll note that he has played a lot of Cassante and also Nari. He's been finding some good success there. And he doesn't take a lot of damage. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if I look at that stat and I say, this guy should be getting in there more because he already has a 13 KDA and he's also doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, he's just killing people and
not dying
and not getting hurt. I don't know. I think that says a lot more about his opponents than it does about him. But on the other side of things here, Karis coming through 2-0 on the Ari, has the highest CS per minute, which is unsurprising considering, you know, his background playing on some really strong LCK teams. And look, we'll see how he does. Pretty decent DPM as well, considering he only played the Ari. So a player who we're hoping to see bounce back in a big way because he was so hyped up early on, but he just hasn't delivered on it. And it's been a long time. Like, you know, we talk about this a lot with Karis. Like, we were like, his potential, but it hasn't ever really been realized.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Karis, he played Azir right before it became a mainstay in the LCK, and he had a really rough time on that, so maybe he can bring it back and he can show off his stuff. He was definitely the Azir of challengers in the past, so now that it's back in the meta and that you're allowed to play it, wouldn't be surprised to see him hop onto that if it doesn't get banned away.
Well, speaking of banned away, I will not be seeing Zest Cassante in this one. And we did see Nico in LCK yesterday. We'll not be seeing that today. Yeah. And I think
never again. Please.
Probably never ever again. Although it was played in jungle, which was interesting.
I had it in my solo queue game last night, and I beat it. Actually, it was nice.
Yeah, that sounds like
it feels like a big feat.
What
right?
exploit did you use?
Well, I was playing Shiv Vagar. I was telling you this about this before.
Game.
It was that game. Yeah. Fun times in solo queue. Okay, so LeBlanc is not banned.
Yeah, so that's I don't know if it's first pickable here, especially when you consider Zeri and Yuumi are also up. So we'll see that Zeri picked up here first. Let's see if Gen.G are willing to play the Aphelios Yuumi. Yeah. You got to take that Yuumi away. But LeBlanc, you can prioritize that since you already know your opponent has the Zeri locked in. And Ophelia, going to be playing that Shiv LeBlanc.
Yes. What's the difference between Academy and Challenger? Challenger is tier 2, right below LCK. Academy is the next tier under, which is tier 3. Yeah. And they have like bi-weekly tournaments. It's not really a set league and stuff in Academy. So Challenger is just like, you can get hot swap to LCK as well.
Basically, Academy is a Kesper run tournament system, whereas you're not auto-qualified, whereas Challengers is actually attached to LCK and it is part of the league, and these players can't play on LCK if they're, of course, of eligible age. Nautilus going to come through, so it's Zeri Nautilus, pairing that, you know, we don't always like to see. As Sejuani, I do like here for Raptor. Now you have a lot of engage, you have some great defense here for the Zeri. And we're going to see Xayah locked in here instead of the Aphelios. With Yuumi is kind of a weird one. Carfe is kind of, I don't want to call him a one-trick, but he does like his Xayah. He's played it a lot in the past. But yeah, this one doesn't scream ideal to me. I was really... Also, when we have the Challengers thing with Xayah and Rakan, like, I always like get scared. I'm like, wait, you can't play Rakan. You already locked Yuumi. But no. I will ban the Azir.
There it is. Not going to let Karis play that. I wonder if they'll also ban Ahri here. The LeBlanc, part of the reason why it's strong is because you can flex it as well. We always talk about this. You can throw it in the top lane. It can do very well into a lot of different matchups, especially with the Shiv. Because once you do get the Shiv, you don't have to interact with your lane opponent at all. No. Especially as LeBlanc. You can just auto the wave, clear it out, leave. And it's like you're not even there. So there's a lot of things you can do with that LeBlanc with this build. The Jax also going to be banned away, so they don't want to have to deal with that. You can't auto a Jax that is doing Counter-Strike Wolf, so a good choice.
That's a good call. That's a good call. It's actually Jax, the secret counter to LeBlanc, but Gen.G are very aware. Honestly, they're aware of it. So we will see Gen.G log in.
Honestly, I'm also aware of it. Wolf. Thank you.
Let's see the Viego coming through here. And I think now as Bro here, I mean, Annie still feels like a pretty strong pick. You can catch LeBlanc, you can react quickly. I mean, to a certain extent, the same is true of the Gragas that they will lock in here instead. Oh, what if it's both? Okay, so Gragas in the top lane here. Annie will be going into mid, so...
Is Tibbers proc Sejuani passive? No, right?
I don't think so.
That would be OP.
I don't think it counts because it's not a champion, so I don't think it works.
That makes sense. Or Tibbers.
Aatrox into Gragas is pretty good. We've seen this tech a little bit in the LCK, and it's kind of one of those common answers to Gragas. Try to get tempo advantage. Will give you a lot of power in the early game for the LeBlanc to come online. Then you've got the Xayah late game win condition. Honestly, if static shift wasn't the thing, though, I think the draft of Bro is way more well-rounded and has great front to back, has great engage too. It's the LeBlanc I'm most worried about here for the side of OK Savings Bank Brion's Challenger squad, because once you get to a point where you can't match that LeBlanc inside, she could split push really hard. Like who chased her down and catches her? Yeah, Nautilus is pretty good into her. If you can react quickly enough, Annie could potentially catch her. Gragas could potentially body slam her when she's trying to make those ships happen, but it's really hard to lock this champion down. Same with Xayah. So I want to give a slight edge here to Gen.G. I also think they are the stronger roster right now, but you know, I like what OK Savings Bank Brion put together here. I think it is actually quite a strong composition.
Yeah, I mean, there is a ton of pick and potential to team fight to provide a front line for the Zeri, right? I feel like that's part of the reason why we saw the Xayah as well, just because you see the Nautilus and the Sejuani face up and you say, well, I don't want to get hit by any of that. So if I play Aphelios, they're probably going to opt into even more engage. So the Xayah will be able to handle that pressure a lot better. And Gen.G can absolutely kind of play this like very slippery style with the Viego, the Xayah, the LeBlanc, of course. The Aatrox kind of the opposite, but maybe he can just kind of do his own thing.
I think the Viego and the Aatrox kind of save the Yuumi here a little bit. You know, it makes the Yuumi pick a little bit stronger because it isn't that great with Xayah. It's going to be pretty weak in lane, but in skirmishes, the Yuumi is going to make that Viego so much more difficult to finish off, and he's going to be getting those resets in an ideal scenario. Same with the Aatrox, so would have been better if it was old Yuumi. It's not, but still does save the pick for me a little bit.
Yeah, I do agree, and it looks like we're just about ready to hop on to the Rift for game number 1. OK Savings Bank Breon Man up against Gen.G Global Academy. Let's go for game 1. Team Salmon never misses.
Never. Never even once.
We have that 2014 synergy
That's
going on.
right. It's been 9 years.
Yeah. No way to miss. And there's been a lot of people asking about who to pay special attention to. If you are a scout from another region, then do cover your ears. Do not listen. But Wolf, who do you think is
Well, I was going to say, if you're a scout from another region, first thing I recommend is there's a button on the Twitch stream, and on YouTube actually, it's the same location, bottom left, that looks like 2 straight lines that are parallel to each other. I would say click on that right away. Now, if you've clicked on it, you won't hear what the rest I have to say is, so they won't also know the instructions of what to do next. So now I can talk about who I think is really good. Lucid, super strong player, I think. Thanatos, very strong. On both of these teams, I'm looking at, you know, Zest. Ophelia has been good at his peaks. Winner, also better this season. On the side of Bro, let's let these guys cook a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not going to be like 10 players who are all ready to advance to the next level at any point. I think that, you know, obviously Karis has had time to play in a tier 1 region and show his stuff, so he definitely has potential. He's shown that. I think that Raptor from time to time can show some pretty good stuff as well, so I'd look at him. Frim had a decent matchup last week, so maybe, you know, on the come up here.
And yeah, we are someone in chat mentioning the fleet footwork for Shiv abuse. True, yes.
Yes.
That's a yes. And longsword start for LeBlanc was actually pretty common for Showmaker. He kind of popularized it back in the day because it gives you a little bit more lane power, especially into a champion like the Annie, where each auto really counts, but it is going to help you get your Shiv too.
And it's really difficult to CS on LeBlanc, so that extra AD actually really helps for that.
Yeah.
Although, you know, just a Doran's item could as well, but this builds into Shiv, and it allows you to harass, as you were saying.
I really like it, actually. I think it's quite smart, and I think we will see more fine-tuning of these Shiv builds as the next few weeks go on. Is Paulo looking for a root and a hook?
Okay, lots of damage already coming out here. AoE onto both of them. 3 summoners use Laspa, hopping off at maybe the wrong time. He is going to get back on. Winner in perfect position for Raptor to come up, and he will show himself, but is not going to poke at the bottom side, so no harm, no foul, no action.
Yeah, I mean, 3 sums down for 2. Feels like a pretty good trade here on the side of Bro, especially considering they can follow up with no cleanse here for Carfe. And yeah, that timing for the detach allows the W to get the double root there. That was not ideal, let's just say. A bit of a panic there perhaps from Lospa, but as you said, it's hard to last hit. That's the passive gone.
Yeah. It gets much easier with the... Oh, okay. He's just trying to get those minions. He's going to back and TP back into this lane. So far, Bro having a pretty good laning phase. Here comes Winner, looking to get something going up on the top side. Still flash available. He's just going to flash first. His body slam looks to be down and blocked for now. First blood given over to Zest in the top lane. And pretty straightforward kills up there.
Yeah, Aatrox, freakishly large champion with his big, long range. Able to just stick it to him there and get that final hit.
He's just long bones.
He's long-armed. He's a lanky boy. And by boy I mean Darkness. Wow, that hook.
Pretty good stuff. Carfe is going to be okay for now. Certainly in this early phase, the Nautilus is doing a lot more than the Yuumi can. You know, if it wasn't Xayah, you could potentially be trying to poke them out because it's a melee support, but especially because you're kind of just sitting there. You will get hooked and you will get punished, as Ophelia was going for a windy walk here. And now he's back.
Yeah, that was kind of odd. He didn't even ward over there as far as I can see, so a bit strange, but did back early to pick up his Kerchesses. Are you a Kerchessis or a Kerchesses? For Kerchessis shard.
Definitely Kerchesses.
Okay.
Carfe in a lot of trouble. I think this bottom lane is both dead. Oh, maybe not. Palu trying to get in there, though. One more auto will do it. That is Enosh picking up 2 on the Zeri. Absolutely a certified Zeri moment, Wolf.
Yeah,
already.
I think I'm going to have to stamp it because in the early game, if a Zeri gets 2 kills like this, it's insane what she's going to be able to do in the lane. And already with the struggles that Yuumi has with the bad synergy that she has with Xayah, extremely low range, it's just a tough game to play out. And to be honest, Palu has had a fantastic start. Like, he set up like 3 different great engages to kind of chip away, and Carfe didn't have his cleanse back up, so that's a double kill there, and this is going to be the Drake going over Winter, not able to contest, and he's probably a little bit frustrated with what his bottom lane has not been able to achieve. Is this a back that starts? Yeah, he just blind hooks. Oh no, they show with the prowling projectile.
They were backing and
don't do that. I mean, I get the idea you want to slow him just to prevent him from coming over there, but now you've revealed the exact angle.
Yeah. So the slow doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, a bit of a mistake. They were just trying to back, but yeah, like you said, I think Palu right now is the front runner for POG already. And like in this game, it's very early, but you know,
Zeri doesn't give you really any lane prio. There are a lot of problems with what she can and cannot do in games. Like, she can be really oppressive later on, but in the early game, she doesn't do a whole lot for you. The Yuumi, I should say, excuse me. I think I said Zeri.
Or the Yummy.
Yummy. There you go. But Yuumi is just plus 300 gold when you fail in lane, generally speaking, so can be very disastrous. If you lose the 80 carry, but the support can get away, it's still bad, but when it's a double for free, you're like, well, it's really bad.
Good check here by Karis. Feeling the pressure, going to send out Tibbers just to block the Viego. That's something we've seen all the good Annie players do. As here we go once again, Hex Flash on in, and Palu, he doesn't even have to go. He just has to sit in this brush, and you see that Carfe can't really farm.
I mean, now with Enosh having level 6 as well, it's even more deadly what they could run up against, especially when Palu gets it, which he has now. So Carfe is just like, I'm significantly behind in experience. I'm just going to have to hide under turret.
And as Carfe picks up his summoners and hits level 6 here soon, you will be able to slowly, catch up, farm. He's not really going to fall further behind, but the damage was already done, right? Belia, he's Kerchesses' boy. He's getting in there. He's doing that, but Bro are in a really good spot here in this early game. And they are going to look to pick up this Rift Herald.
We'll also be picking up that 20 gold from the support item there.
Yeah.
Actually not, because he went Relic Shield, so never mind. Fake news. I actually didn't get anything out of that.
Maybe he hit the minion as the trade was going on.
Yeah, but would have
doesn't heal anymore.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Wouldn't have been a plus 20 though then.
Yeah. Probably would have
been. Yeah. Hopefully for his sake.
Hopefully.
Well, this early game is kind of a disaster for Gen.G, but there is hope because LeBlanc has a lot of those pieces now. Pick up the Shiv, Noon Quiver, Kerchesses, and picked up actually with some additional gold. Didn't have enough to finish the Shiv, but has enough to grab a Null Magic Mantle for the Merc Treads, and that's going to be helpful in lane 2. Merc. Merc Threads? Burke Treads is when Burke and Stark sponsors the LCK Challengers League, and we get the Burke Treads. Lucidity Burks.
I'm surprised. Yeah. Why don't they have like sponsors to make items and stuff? Like we could have the Louis Vuitton sword.
The Louis Vuitton sword, so longsword, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of shouting out brands here on the stream that wouldn't be allowed on the Korean stream, but it's okay. It's on the global stream. It's not that big of a deal. And yeah, this bottom lane, as I mentioned, you know, it's definitely kind of cooled off for now. Awful idea, lol. Hey, I mean, they could make it a little bit less obvious, you know? It could be like the LV bow or something, you know?
Yeah. I like money coming to my esport.
Yeah. I agree. That's the idea. Yeah. Well,
but some brands might not want to be associated with broken items as well. Please make sure my item is fair and balanced, unlike Static Shiv, when you attach it. As winner, looking to make another play up here on the top side. If Frim uses Body Slam, he is definitely going to go, but he did not.
This is it. This is the moment. But Frim knows it's pushing away. He knows he's in a dangerous spot here. Has vision, but he's not 100% sure. Unfortunately, that little maneuver there. Okay, he's got Body Slam up again, and he will be just fine.
Yep, winner did have his flash back up, but not going to commit this time around. And Frim also good read there, realizes something's not right. And on the other side of the map, because of the show of the Viego, will be the second Drake going over to Brion. So the one thing that's going very well, outside of the fact that LeBlanc with Shiv will exist, is that this Aatrox got a kill. He avoids getting killed a second time. Grim does, and they get 2 Drakes. Let's see which soul it's going to be, because this is going to be quite critical here. I'm feeling Infernal, because a LeBlanc with 4 would be pretty gross.
Oh, it was Infernal.
Yeah,
Wait, it like showed up before the dragon died. How did they know, Wolf?
I mean, as soon as I said it, they were like, oh, okay.
Are they from the future?
No, they just heard me when I predicted it, and they were like, it's definitely not Cloud Valdez. As the shiving has begun.
Yeah, the cooldown on it is really low. I was playing with it last night, and it's basically up every 4 or 5 seconds. So it feels very good. And as you mentioned, the second you get it as well, you just get a bunch of stats that allow you to deal damage with your autos as well. So you're just in there poking, being annoying.
And at no real cost, because LeBlanc has insane mobility. Imagine if LeBlanc was actually an 80 carry with her kit. Like, with her, I mean, her Q is not that crazy. Like, if you were just building, like, a crit LeBlanc. I mean, we have seen it, actually, in the top lane, but when you consider that it's an 80 carry that also has it wave clear, it's like, wait. But in this case, she gets to be a split pusher who has wave clear, a pseudo 80 carry, in that she does a lot of damage with her autos, but also a burst mage with poke. So, like, what does she not do, like, anymore? That's the... She's not tanky, I guess. She can't tank.
That's fine, because she is very slippery.
Yeah, she's like an evade tank, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the damage.
And she'll be buying items that will enhance the damage, of course, as... You know, even with the Shiv, sometimes you can manage to miss the cannon. Don't know how that's possible, but, you know, mistakes happen. Here comes Raptor, trying to get on top of Zest, who's being very aggressive and looking for the kill under the turret, as Will even bait that out. As you know, these bro junglers, man, with the Sejuani ultimates.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Sejuani ult tryouts, like, the way to join bro is to actually miss all your ults and tryouts. That's what really impresses Edgar.
He's like, yeah, okay, wow.
Doesn't even need to hit the ult to be around there.
Yeah.
I like that.
I really liked his positioning on the play, even though the execution was really not good. It's okay.
It's okay. I mean, Zest also had flash. Didn't have to use it, of course. Did pop his ultimate. And, I mean, the Aatrox, like I said, is the one really good sticking point here so far in this game. The Zeri is a problem. The question is, can LeBlanc solve it? That is what Ophelia is going to have to prove he can do here, because buying Shiv alone, as Closer showed us, hasn't always been enough. It's often impressive to buy Shiv and then lose the game, but we'll see if it happens a second time.
It might. It might happen. But a lot will fall on the shoulders of Ophelia, especially because he's into Frim, who doesn't really care too much. I mean, for now he has gone AP, he is Everfrost, but that just means that he clears waves really fast as well. So he doesn't have to really interact with the LeBlanc at this moment in time. He's just a wave clearer. So Ophelia's going to struggle to find real angles.
Yeah, she can't actually pressure him, just send minions to him. And he'll be like, cool, that's what I do, I'm Gragas. So, Karis, of course, will have a pretty decent time into the Aatrox in the side as well with this lane setup, so they are going to swap it. As you can see, Aatrox going down, but guess what? It's predicted, it's seen, Frim's going up. And this is the kind of game we're doing where I cast where the soul laners are going. I'm like, Ophelia went top, and Zest went bot, Frim went to match, and wait for it on the bottom side, Karis, he went bot as well. I thought they were going to pan. We'll just watch Paulo instead.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we get into golf broadcast mode. Nothing's happening, so...
If I wasn't using a hand mic, I would golf clap when the Shiv clears the minions, but...
Golf snap. There we go, we did it. We did the golf snap. Now I want to play Pokemon Snap.
I mean, they made a new one. I didn't play it.
I didn't play it either.
Kalaris was really good at it, though. I saw on Twitter. Shout out if you guys know Kalaris.
Ophelia just went mid and autoed the wave and then left. It's like, okay, I pushed. Now I go into the bot jungle. It is Infernal Soul, so...
Kind of need to fight for this one.
Okay, he did it. He autoed him.
He did it. Golf
Gonna do it again? Uh-oh. See? Okay, yeah, nice.
See, I mean, even though there's a lot of lockdown here for the LeBlanc, she still just presses W and goes away. And then she will come back. Look, she did it again.
Yeah.
And one more time. Hold on. It's a big shield. It's a big shield Paulo's holding on to, though. And, oh, didn't hit the auto.
Yeah, he's getting scared. It's scary. I mean, LeBlanc, generally, you know, you're like QR or something like that, you know. You guys they were talking about it on broadcast yesterday, actually. Sometimes you're not used to doing this as a LeBlanc player.
Yeah,
so
it's
this
quite
is getting
wild.
low. And, okay, there's the hook on the winner. The ult comes out, but the damage is there from the side of Gen.G as Zest is in the backline. He hits a massive Q3 onto that backline. As now winner in the front line. LeBlanc gets the dragon of all people. As winner, he takes a while to go down. He was just voluntarily tanking there in the front line. Frim trying to go 1v2, does get one, but goes down as now Zest is alone, leaves his entire backline to die.
Yeah, that was not where Zest needed to be at all. He needed to be with Ophelia trying to lock down those kills. If he actually gets another, yeah, Zeri exists also. If he locks down one of these champs and then Ophelia gets the kill, then he gets the reset, then that's it. But unfortunately, he was on the left side of this. Zest actually does so much in this fight because he's actually in the thick of things, pops his ult, absorbs that Gragas, and then like he's basically 3 people's worth of aggression absorbed, and then flashes out, gets away. And then winner here, locked down, he's got a Yuumi on his back, because we were talking about Yuumi Viego, and then gets this reset on the Gragas, and then once this flash away comes through,
they went way too aggressive onto Eno. Could not get the kill. And they used everything to chase him through the jungle, so a little bit of a Zeri moment. Well, not really a Zeri moment in the official sense of the term, but definitely a moment that Zeri had in this game to kite it out. And
it's a Zeri lead right there. That's a 2,450.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me, 2,580.
Yes.
Gold lead for the Zeri. She has become momentous, just to use moment more.
Hashtag bro momentum. Memento?
Yeah. A bro moment.
Yeah.
Shout out to T1's strategy coach. Well, I don't want to say this one is done, but I think that Ophelia has not shown the confidence required, I think, to play this LeBlanc thus far. And the other thing about the LeBlanc into Nautilus is if you go in and then you get Nautilus ulted, then you're like, uh-oh, and you go out, That can actually just mess up your entire team. And Paulu was like, thanks for sending my ultimate exactly where I want it to be, into the back line.
Yeah, it takes a lot of finesse for sure. You got to be really careful about when you're going in. Yes, it is strong, but you don't want to overdo it at times. As Ophelia, they are really trying to collapse onto this level.
Yeah, don't chase little block. That's kind of the new singed thing.
Maybe she'll just face check. They don't care.
Raptor knew he wasn't going to hit the ult. That's why he's on bro. So he was like, guess
yeah.
I'll just hold it.
Just hold on to it for the team fight, I guess. At least it can slow. Like, even if you miss, you know, it can be on the ground, kind of like slow.
It can. It can also go off of the map and not slow people when you miss it. Just ass empty.
It's a possibility, too, yeah.
Why are we so mean today?
I don't know.
Oh. I want players to be better, but me saying these words is not helpful, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. I do think that if you don't chase LeBlanc, obviously you're going to regret it because she will eventually take the turret down, so you have to commit, but you have to be a little bit faster and come over there before she just pushes the wave and hits the turret and walks away. Otherwise, you won't be able to get anything out of it. Baron is live here, and with his Zeri being extremely fed, I think you could start to try to really realistically actually start this and turn really well and push the LeBlanc and the Viego into awkward positions here. The Aatrox may have to pop his ult early, and then you back away, then you go back to the Baron. I mean, it's pretty terrible into LeBlanc, actually, to start a Baron like that because she's going to do a lot for you. But, again, Ophelia, he needs to actually do the things. He hasn't done it yet.
He's hanging out in the side lane. He's providing pressure. There's not really too much happening on the map outside of it because Gen.G are behind. So we've seen a lot of LeBlanc from ahead, and now we're seeing what can happen if, it can just... They have a lot of wave clear on the side of Bro, again, so it's kind of just you put either Annie or Gragas in the lane, and you just don't even get near the LeBlanc, and you say, okay, well, you're not going to threaten the turret. Yes, you can clear the waves, and you do provide a ton of pressure, which is the most annoying part. We're not going to lose the turret, and we have a Zeri, who's 3-0 and almost on 3 items, so
and, yeah, the concern,
when it comes to team fighting, we're just going to win it.
The concern for me is, like, if you're not willing to start a fight on either this Drake now here in 20 seconds or the Baron, like, and you are just kind of sitting under turrets, like, what are you doing? So you're going to see a teleport commitment here from Prim. They are going to try to force this fight on their turn. This is what I want to see. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, he autoed.
Oh, okay. He did it, yeah.
Ophelia, he autoed, yeah. Okay, well.
Ooh!
Nice little position from Prim, but quick reaction from Ophelia.
Yeah, got through the Everfrost and everything. But this is the kind of position you want to take as Bro. Look at this. Gragas and the Annie blocking both entry points here with the Zeri as well to back it up once the engage comes through. Need to actually use that CC, though. You can stand there, but if you don't use it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they have to get in, but Zest just gets 100-0'd as he has a Yuumi on his back who is just bonus food for the side of Bro, for the side of Zeri. And the team fighting here from Bro is just way too good. I mean, their Zeri is so far ahead. They have a massive front line. Gen.G cannot get in.
I think Gen.G were a little bit split on the call to go in as well, as Zest just eventually goes through, and Bro were like, all right, we're just going to let him through and then turn on him and see if the rest of the team comes through. They were very patient. I was actually starting to get a little bit frustrated with Bro. I was like, no, just ult him, just pick him off. But the rest of the team doesn't come through, then they do turn on him, and now this is going to be both Soul Point and the Baron.
And, well, we do have Prim providing a front line here. He is going to be able to get away for now, has to flash. And, yeah, I mean, they just turn off of the Baron. Didn't necessarily have to, but they will take this route instead. Prim very low. Winner is going to get in there somehow, some way. Winner will buy a lot of time now for the team. And now, yeah, Zest is going to come in. Palu's getting low. They have to get out here. Again, not a very clean turn. If you're going to turn, you have to turn right away and then get out or start the Baron. Or if you get the one guy, you know, look for a couple more.
Yeah, that was messy. I mean,
get it done.
Especially when you kill the AD carry, I think you can play it a little bit slower than that. Yeah, there's a LeBlanc that is very difficult to lock down and does a lot of damage. She's kind of like an AD carry, not really. But like she does consistent damage in those fights. Is they don't block Zest and Carpe, or sorry, Zest and Ophelia from coming through, but then as soon as he's in hook range, they engage with that rather than the Tibbers first. And then Tibbers is also a huge aspect in this fight. Lost Blood just becomes another plus 300 here. and Bro will be able to take out the Drake. But then when we go to the next fight, which I guess we won't watch, things get a little bit less clean for Bro, and Enish went over the wall because he thought the fight was over, and then he had to flash. They're still in a fantastic spot, like, don't get me wrong, but probably could have been up Baron right now and have taken out that top and bottom outer turrets for some additional gold. As it stands, still looking good here, but Gen.G, I mean, not out of it just yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, the gold is very similar. Obviously, the 80 carry diff is ginormous at this point, which I think is the biggest issue, right? If Bro can continue to force team fights, there's not really an angle for Gen.G, as we've seen. The amount of pick and damage they have in their comp is just way too much. Like, you throw in a Sedge ult, a not ult, you're going to kill somebody. And, I mean, Gen.G have to figure it out, right? They have to split push. They have to force Bro away from the 5v5, but they have not been able to force Bro to play their play style here.
Raptor willing to look for like an Arctic assault onto Ophelia there, maybe. Not going to commit the ultimate. Doesn't find his opportunity. But because Ophelia is harassing here, he's not actually defending Frim, who's going to be able to eventually get that turret. Looks like by himself, does have teleport. And Bro are winning on two fronts here, like both potentially getting that turret and also starting this Baron up. He can TP in on a flank angle as Ophelia hitting Raptor. I mean,
he autoed.
He did. He's going to do it again.
He's doing it again. Okay, got through the shield.
There's that flank I was talking about.
There's the TP, and again, they're just going to blow up Zest here, and Carface in front uses the Feather Storm, but immediately dies after that. And again, this area is just way too much of a problem. The engages are not clean, as half the team's going in, and then half the team is poking. They got to be on the same page here, but Bro is the team that's on the same page, so just going to zone them away. They do still have Winner, who has his Smite, but does not have Flash nor Heartbreaker, so he's not going to be able to really get in here. And yeah, he's just going to run around the back of the pit. And that is going to be Bro picking up the Baron at 26 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is, once again, just Zest gets caught by Palu. Ult comes through, he's blown up, and then Carfe is like in no man's land. Zeri, again, doesn't have a whole lot of synergy with the Xayah, and Zeri's hanging out on the melee frontliners, who are still going to be blown up regardless. It's now 4,000 gold to lead here for Enish, but I mean, the real story of this game is Palu, who I believe is still at 100% kill participation. He was before that fight, and I think he actually obviously set up the engage on the Aatrox. We'll see once this gold graph fades, but I think he is like 100%, 11 out of 11. He is. So, I mean, for me, like, still POG angle right now for Palu.
Palu.
Yeah.
Boom boom damage.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
I'm not gonna vote for it, but it's gonna win.
I know. That's
media
why.
Tech W. No, that wait. There's no media votes here in Challenge.
I'm just saying, maybe if I keep saying the truth, at least like the message will be received on our side. Okay.
You can try. I mean, you know.
Just because he doesn't get POG on the screen doesn't mean he isn't really the player of the game. You know who definitely isn't the player of the game? This is the man running away right there, unfortunately.
I mean, the lane just went so horrifically for them that now all of the ideas that Gen.G had in the draft are just thrown asunder, right? And it has not been clean from them. Bro have been playing a great front-to-back 5v5 style. They have the tools to do it, and they're playing it well. So everything's coming together for them. They're going to get this streak. And there you go. That's Infernal Soul. Elder Flip angle doesn't look likely here, Wolf.
Although I will say, because of Bros like their parent team, their tendency to play very slowly, I think it's a pretty decent chance that we do get to like almost close to the Elder spawning, but I mean, they just have too many advantages at this point. With the Baron buff, they should be able to threaten inhibitors here now, because it's still up for another minute. And there's grouping S4 here. As like you said, Gragas could just say, yeah, nice split push, by the way. I'm just going to sit on the turret. And that's what Frim is doing. His teleport's about to come back up. This is going to be one inhibitor at least.
That's the inhibitor going down. There's a lot of discussion in the chat about, you know, like the...
It's just like going behind him. That's so funny.
The viability of Aatrox, you know, why did they pick the Yuumi? One thing I want to say is here at Challengers, we try to be kind.
Except today for some reason. But
yeah, we've got kind of like a hardcore vibe going on, which is okay, but, you know, let's be nice, you know.
Yeah.
Let's explain what's going on to some of the viewers who,
I mean, yeah,
who are questioning. You know, they may just have some questions, you know.
I mean, the Viego and the Aatrox Empower the Yuumi pick that was picked early, and then they picked Xayah because they were scared of Nautilus Sejuani, and then it
Chat
just
is cranky.
Chat is cranky. Chat's
okay.
hangry. Chat needs to get a hamburger or something, or a cheeseburger. You know,
Thought it was a chocolate bar.
I mean, that's also fine. You know, just get a snack. You know, bro and brew if that's your thing.
You're not the same when you're hungry.
No, you're really not.
That's what they say.
Never go shopping hungry.
For food, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, just in general. If you're shopping for non-food, you're just going to be like a little bit annoyed the whole time, anyways.
What if you're hungry for clothes? Shouldn't go shopping
Well,
for
I see a
clothes.
doctor about that. See a trained professional.
Yeah, I mean, it's edible. Yes, there is something I want to talk about, yes. No, I don't eat food, clothes. Well, this game is it's kind of hashtag wolf over at this moment in time.
This game is over.
We had the Zeri moment at 6 minutes into the game, and Gen.G have not been able to solve it. They have just not had an answer.
I mean,
No,
that's not
guys,
the greatest
it's
cast
Brover.
I've ever seen, but you know, it gets the job done. Oh, that one connected, didn't it? Oh.
Yeah. And I mean, the funniest thing to me is like when games like this happen and it's very one-sided, and chat's like, it's this fault. It must be because of this pick. Like this happened in the draft. But to be honest, guys, Zeri was picked. It was first picks, right? Didn't get to play Zeri Yuumi, but that's fine because Zeri alone is really where the OP stuff happens, and she got a double kill 6 minutes into the game.
Well phrased.
That's what happened in this game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's why this game happened. And yes, you know, the laning could have been better. We could have had a more even game had that not happened. I think that Gen.G's draft was fine. I think they had angles to use, but I don't want people to come in and say, "Oh, well, Shiv LeBlanc must be bad now." Like,
Yeah.
that's not
That's not
what we take from this game.
Yeah, that's
okay?
not the takeaway. And honestly, like, it's kind of a takeaway that Aphelia's just not that practiced on it, but you know, he has a lot of circumstances stacked up against him in this game where his side laning and his split push was good, but he hasn't been able to do that much damage to champions. I think his number will be quite low compared to maybe not Annie, but especially the carries in this game. As it's 3 inhibs down. This is the bro way. Is actually just like, don't kill the Nexus, just let the minions do it. Bro, like, can we wait until Elder spawns and win one more team fight? I'm like, how about this push? But they're gonna play it safe.
It's 13-11. Says it in the bottom left.
Yes, the patch.
Match21 Game 1 patch version 13.11. It also says LCK CL, which stands for Challenger.
That's right.
So if
It's
you come
basically
into the
the
chat and you
frequently
say,
asked questions box
where
right
is
there."
Faker? The answer is right there in the bottom left. No problem, Crew World. It's okay.
All right, so if bro don't all 5 dance in synchronization as the Nexus dies to super minions here, I'm gonna really question their why they waited to get Baron to then end. Like, you could have just ended, but we're gonna everybody dance. Come on, I need to see it. Everybody dancing. I mean, not yet, but like as the Nexus is falling. You know.
They're playing it so safe as Scarfe in a lot of trouble. Does Featherstorm out, but at this point, the wallets are gigantic. They have too much money. They had to put it in the safe. They had to go to the bank and put it in the safe deposit box, and they're just going to smack the enemies over the head with it anyway, as they don't need to have it in their wallets. Down it goes. That is a very one-sided first game in favor of OK Man Bro, the Giga Chads themselves.
Put my Palu vote in. He did not end up with 100% kill contribution, but he was at, I think, 11 out of 12. Well, I mean, I guess there were extra kills. It was 11 out of 12 before that final team fight happened. But,
It's best of 3.
His best of 3s. All right, now we're just getting trolled by chat. Chat's like asking basic questions. Chat's like, is this played in League of Legends? I'm like, yes. Chat's like, is this played on the computer? I'm like, yes. Like, are you guys sitting in chairs? I'm like,
Are you guys
yes.
human? No, actually, we're
No,
not.
AI.
We're AIs, yeah.
All right, LeBlanc actually doing less damage than Annie in this game. That was I was like, okay, it's going to be a little bit low, but not less than Annie. But actually, I was wrong.
I mean, it's Annie from ahead with Sabers.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just, but it's also Shiv LeBlanc.
Are you human or are you dancer?
That sounds like an Achilles question. You'll have to ask him. We need to get a soundboard. We could just play Achilles' Noribong version of that.
So that game just lost at the double kill. I mean, kind of. It was a Zeri moment, and Gen.G had angles, but they did not utilize them very well. So there was that one. You remember that fight on the dragon? Like, that was kind of close, and
Yeah.
they just all dove onto the Zeri and gave her 2 extra assists and an extra kill. That was kind of like, okay, the nail was in the coffin, but then they like put it in the ground. You know what I mean? So yeah, after that team fight, it was kind of just Rover from there.
Yeah. There was a small gold lead in the early game as well for Gen.G, as you can see, as is evidenced by this graph. I don't know. This one was pretty one-sided, guys. I'm hoping my boy Paulu's not going to get robbed, but you and I both know the truth.
Not robbed! Not robbed!
Robbed! That's what I'm talking about. I don't know why his vision score is being highlighted, because I think that's some,
104.
like, the least
It's
relevant
huge.
part of this, but not robbed. I'm like, we're going to put up his vision score, his DPM.
We need his DPM as well. Yes, 141.
Yeah.
Excellently done.
But his kill participation, that's the real one.
Yundo.
Yundo had our back, man. I know
Yeah,
he voted for
you
Paulu.
knew. He said noise, so I know. Yeah, I mean, he was the one who dominated the lane. He was the one who picked up the kill. He hit the hooks, and sure, the Zeri moments came in. Enosh was attacking, pressing Q, but Paolo was the one who set it up.
Yeah. Okay, man. It is
Yeah,
a good
104
start.
vision score is really high.
I mean, that is like very oppressive, and it's quite rare in a game of this length. I mean, it was a relatively long game, I guess, but like it was not a 40-minute game.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 32, something like that.
I don't know. My brain kind of like turned off halfway through.
I'm ready for game 2, Valdez. I'm ready to move on from game 1.
Let's move on to the break. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Challenger League, not Academy League. This is Challenger League for LCK.
Otherwise colloquially called Challengers.
Challengers, yeah. And I'm still Valdez, that's still Wolf. We're still AIs that can go through the wall. And we are getting ready for game number 2. Bro smashed Gen.G in game 1.
It was very one-sided, and
And Smash isn't even on that team.
I know. But I expect that things will change with
Hi, Deft.
Gen.G having the ability to swap to blue side now. Hey, what's up, Deft?
Def's in the chat.
The most important thing is an unbreakable spirit.
Yeah. Someone said that at some point.
Unbreakable
Actually,
heart,
a lot of people did say that.
Yeah, people are
afterwards.
still saying that all the time. Like
Yeah.
they were Deft fans all along, but they weren't hipster
It
fans.
became the thing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes in Korea, some things become a thing, and then everybody uses the thing.
And then it becomes way overused, and then it's like you can never.
And then
say
it's
it
gone,
again.
yeah.
You can never say it again. Where are you? Like, were you like?
Gotta ride the wave.
Were you happier with the Def quote, or were you happier in the Kaja era? Like, which one? Like, of the two things that were like definitely way too
I liked
prevalent.
Kaja.
Yeah, me too.
Kajua.
Yeah. I think like King Batnanda is like kind of in the middle for me. Like,
Yeah.
but
Can
we
you
will
answer a
overuse
captcha?
phrases
No,
and kill them.
absolutely not. We are AI. Gen.G unsurprisingly selected blue side. I'm starting to learn Hangul. Is there something to pay extra attention to when you're learning Korean?
I would say when you're learning, one of the easiest things you can do when you're trying to learn how to read, because obviously you'll have to learn to read before you can actually learn to speak, is to try to associate like objects you can find and see in your everyday life when you read that. Like, for example, one of the words I usually tell people to use, like when you see this like in a Korean market, it's like cookie. Like a lot of things will say cookie on them because it's a cookie, but you can be like, oh, I read that and I know it's a cookie, and like try to focus on things that you can like actually associate what they are, and they'll be like, oh, I actually can read this. I know what it means, and it's like motivating that way.
There
If
you
you're
go.
in Korea, like you can be like, oh, it's a subway station. I can know what it means because it says what it is in English right under there as well. So, yeah,
True.
true.
Did they fix CC score numbers? I highly doubt it.
No. I mean, it seems a little bit less wild and crazy, but it's still like not. I don't think it's right, but I don't know.
Yeah. What is right anyway? Maybe the challenger's way is the right way to do it.
Yeah,
Maybe bigger numbers are better.
I liked it better when the OK Man was a little bit more, less carrot-like, and like in this one he was more man than carrot. I feel like in these depictions he's more carrot than man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true though. I didn't think about it, but that is very true. I'm kind of okay with the carrot one, although the obsession with everything having to be cute. You could have just been an okay man, you know.
Yeah.
Have to be a cute carrot, but
There used to be an ad with OK Man where he was like in a Street Fighter clone game beating up like bad saving stuff. It was great.
yeah.
I haven't seen it
Yumi
in a while.
ban.
Yeah, well that's gonna change things, isn't it?
Pick Zeri first. I swear to God.
What if they Bro could ban it?
They could.
Okay, hold on. Could also be the good old Aphelios first pick, or going straight to LeBlanc. It
Okay,
worked out
so
well in
Bro's
game
gonna
one.
pick Zeri and Nautilus.
Yes,
Or Zeri and Sejuani. Could be a way.
I'd actually prefer the Nautilus, but yeah, I think both are viable. I see.
Watch
no-
them and they're like, game one was game one. Times have changed. We don't do that anymore.
The Lulu is pretty good for the Aphelios that Gen.G will likely opt into here, so I do like this pick too in its own way, but would have preferred the Nautilus. Because Nautilus is also very good into Zeri, so if you... wow, we're just... Oh, didn't expect this. They're going to wait and see what Gen.G want to do AD carry-wise before they make their selection. Or, nope, just going to opt into Aphelios.
Yeah, I mean, now that there is Yumi banned, I guess they don't feel scared about Zeri Yumi, so they're like, sure, go ahead and play Zeri. We will find... Sure, okay, well...
Okay, Bro didn't have a plan, let's be honest. They figured it out.
Yeah, they're like,
along the
oh,
way.
we're on red side. Just throw our hands up in the air and be like, I don't know, man. I'll just pick some OP champs, I guess.
They did not have a plan, but that's okay, because they still got 2 high-tier champions here, and the flexibility of this draft is very high. Okay, Aphelios. Don't want to lock in Nautilus yet. Well, this is kind of awkward, because now you're like, do they pick Nautilus? What if they don't pick Zeri? So Rakan, I think, is a good option here. But now they're like, well, you can pick Nautilus, so I'll pick Zeri.
It's funny, I think Aphelios and Nautilus would have been pretty good into this, but, you know, didn't want to play it. Zeri comes out here. Zeri Lulu. Ushinami Zeri Lulu.
No, Valdez. It's a fellow.
Okay.
Zeri
Sorry.
Lulu. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I said Zeri Lulu, and my brain began to go off the deep end.
It's like bro ban solution. I'm like, no, wait, it's safe, guys, everybody.
Hello, casters. Where Gragas? I desire his corpulence. Wolf will know that word. Although the chat probably will not. You could probably guess based on context, even if you don't.
Yeah, I think it has to do with how well kept his beard is. I think that's what it means, right?
Yeah. Is Nico permabanned? Yes. Yep. Like, not actually
she's not disabled,
but she is banned in every single game now.
She's got a 100% win rate as well when she's not banned, which is like twice.
Rockets did get a W.
Yeah. Well, they will ban the Malfurion, the Maokai here.
Yeah, Zeratul is probably coming up next, I would guess. You know, that's pretty OP in this meta.
Let's see what else is going to get banned here.
Was the Butcher in that game?
Yeah.
He was, right?
Was, yeah.
Now he's like the menace of Diablo 4. He's just everywhere.
He's ruining my life all the time. I'm actually quite shocked they didn't ban Sejuani. Like, I'm with the Maokai ban, but Gwen is just like saying, I'm going to pick Scion.
I'm going to do it.
And it doesn't make
sense.
You can't
stop me.
It doesn't make sense for a comp, but I'm going to do it.
I'm going to pick Scion. And yeah,
I actually hope they don't pick Scion. Oh,
they will.
They're picking
just
Scion.
Like every team is like, okay, well, Gwen is the one real counter to Scion. But we've seen a lot of other things. We've seen Gnar, which actually is also banned. We've seen Jax. I mean, there is a lot of other things you can pick into this. It's not like Scion is like, okay, well, they don't have Gwen, so I guess we just win. We've even seen, you know, not going to name any names, but Gwen's lose to Scion as well.
Yeah.
We have Cho'Gath into Scion. That's another option.
So,
you could also just pick another tank.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to play Ornn and be like, we have better long-range engage now, and we have an insane front line, and we have, like, they can both initiate fights. They can also disengage from fights. They also have Zeri. They have Wild Growth, which has both.
Did you say Zeri?
Yeah, they have Zeri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, just,
yeah.
They have, I mean, it's right there. Like, he's right above the Lulu and below the Annie. You can notice the like yellowish green hair. It's kind of like two-toned. That's the dead giveaway that the enemy team is going to have bad time.
MTC asks, why is the lightning so bright today? It's because we're playing a lot of Zeri.
And Static Shiv.
Yeah, Static Shiv as well. Yeah.
And it's probably going to be Hextech Soul this time as well. So, you know, much like the guy who didn't want to eat green eggs and ham in that Dr. Seuss book, I do not like Gen.G's comp. I do not like it a lot. I do not want to. I don't want to see it. I don't. But we're going to.
They've been doing so well.
Yeah, this is. I feel like this comp is really over the place. They hard forced the LeBlanc, and now their comp doesn't have synergy, and they picked the Rakan, which can have power in the lane, and I think it really needs to. Otherwise, the front to back for Bro is
Maybe
just much
Gen.G
better.
have just had a weak schedule. Strength of schedule so
Could
far.
be.
They lost to DRX first, which is fine. I mean, DRX is really good. They defeated Live Sandbox KT, which was 2-1, by the way, and KT's really struggling. Guangdong Freaks, who at this point are the weakest team in the region. So, I don't know. I mean, Gen.G, it does feel like they are playing very hard into, okay, we're going to get the OP picks, the new meta with the LeBlanc, and I feel like you're just giving up a lot to go for it.
Yeah. Valdez and I did take time off Star League today to come cast this, so I hope you guys appreciate it.
The SSL on...
we got special permission from Spo TV Games.
Yeah. It's on hiatus today. Guys, let's go into game number 2. So sharp.
Yeah, just like that arrow icon there at the bottom right. It's very
You're
sharp.
just hanging out. Pepega? Yeah, that's us. It's me, Pepega, and I'm with Pepe La. He's here with me.
Yeah.
Shiv has a 50% AP ratio on AoE. Even Luden's is only 30%. What's the story behind Do Do Do? Well, the song has that it's like a guitar riff, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the guitar goes doot doot doot, and so I think it was me. I pointed it out. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I don't know who it was, but one of us pointed it out, and then we just decided we had to say it because it went away for a while.
Yeah,
or like we need it.
There was a period of time where we weren't sure if it was going to get cut off during the intro to the game or not, and it was like summoned, and people were like, "Well, I'll do it. If it doesn't happen, maybe we'll just cover it." I think that's how it happened. Like people were like, "Oh yeah," I don't know who did it. I think it was me, Max, and Chronicle the first time, but they were like, "Well, if we do it, then it still happens no matter what," and then it just became a thing. I think. I don't know. It wasn't even that long ago, but I'm like, long time ago, like
back in
4 months ago when
yeah.
And I don't remember.
Static bans? No, that's why LeBlanc is in the game. Can somebody explain to me 80 LeBlanc? It is due to static shiv. The item has an AP ratio on its
pass or active. Yeah, on its.
Is it an active? It's not an active though. You don't press the item.
Yeah. But it is activated. Yeah, I guess you could call it passive.
When you auto attack something, it bounces a lightning
proc
bolt. Yeah, it's a proc. Onto the entire wave. It extends all the way down.
Look at this.
Yeah, level 2, Carfe has no health anymore.
Yeah, and he had his Calibrum equipped, didn't swap, so Enos just comes in with a Lulu shield, and Carfe is just like, well, even if I shoot him, it's not a good trade for me. And yeah, that's not exactly how you want to be starting your lane, but he has the ability to heal up a little bit. Look at him go. Some heals coming through. All right, Raptor's coming down.
Caucasian American, that was not very nice. Here at Challengers Chat, we try to be very nice, okay?
Yeah, that's not very polite.
Good, positive vibes. As, okay, we got a gank in the bottom lane. Who could have seen this coming? As Raptor with a red buff gets in there. He's still on vision, and he is going to stick around. Probably just going to do the Krugs, and he will be fine.
Yep, he's going to take those away. Paulo will clear the ward. And now there's just no vision here for Lost Boy and Carfe. You've got to know he's there. They're going to maybe try to push him off here, but I don't think this is ideal. Good knockup.
Yeah, at this point, not really, Winner just clearing bottom to top, so he's just not here, and he's going to go back up to the top side.
Yep, just going to trade scuttles here. And that was it. That was the most exciting thing that's going to happen in the early game of this one. My reasoning for not really liking Gen.G's comp that much is because I think it's going to be really hard for them to team fight later on. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I mean,
guess that's
will prevent the back, and we'll have to stay. Not going to end up losing anything for it either. So
YouTube chat is lost its mind.
Struggling, man.
It's having a rough day today.
So I mean, YouTube chat's been getting better, but can't always be.
It's kind of off and on, Not every day is a good day, right?
Yeah, it oscillates between horrible and mediocre, and I don't know which side we're on today. But it's okay. Winner is over here. Frim is probably not okay. Zess has enough mana for like one Q. Let's see if he's gonna commit. There's a ward that's pretty huge.
Spotted. Got him. Now he could still hang around. Yeah, I mean, he could still do this. But Frem is aware. Honestly, he's aware of it. And he is going to stop the back. There he goes. Winner's like, oh, crap. Why did this have to happen to me?
Yeah, well, that's very annoying. He will lose a lot of time. He will also lose his Raptors. As Raptor, speaking of, we always got to get... This is what Yundo loves to show us. Raptor... taking the Raptors. Yeah. He's taking the Raptors away.
This is the Yundo trademark. Yeah, this is how you know it's Yundo who's observing.
Yep, the zoom in. Will he get the ward though? Nah, his name is not Ward. It's Raptor.
Yeah, and it's not Dragon, but he is going to start the Dragon.
Only because Palu made him.
Okay. Is Palu like Dragon in a different language?
Yeah, actually in a different solar system. There's a society there where Palu means Dragon. Yeah.
All right, well, they are starting the Dragon. It's a 2-on-2 for now, but the AD carry situation, again, very good for Bro. Enosh just going to come on up, and Winner and Lost are like, well,
Yeah.
Whelp with a P, not just like well with 2 L's. No, it's like Whelp.
Yeah,
it's
with
kind
a
of
P.
that really desperate, you know, you don't have anything going on for you. It's like, well, we have no hope in this one. Well, I guess we just have to let it go.
Yeah, Ophelia got Tibbersed, so he can't join the fight. And it's just, against Zeri in the early game, like, the only place where she could be weak, it depends on the lane setup, which they do not have a good one here with the Aphelios Rakan. She can be weak in lane and can be pushed in, but in early skirmishes, she's like the best early game AD carry, and then because of her ability to scale, if you lose that skirmish on Dragon because you don't have Cryo, you try to hard force, like, that's what a Zeri moment is. It's not just like Zeri has 7 kills, it's a Zeri moment. The Zeri moment's often incorrectly used, the term. And it's when Zeri actually gets multiple kills early in the game and becomes a menace much faster than
Seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah,
before she even has any items.
Yeah, exactly.
Oftentimes.
See, Valdez knows.
She has like Zerker Greaves and she picks up a double kill on the Dragon. That's a Zeri moment, right?
Yep, exactly. Because you can't get away from her. If you lose the fight, she will kill everyone.
Yeah. I remember that's how it was very early on. It's like, and then she got nerfed a bunch. And she's still here.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Camille back in the day.
It's really funny how for a while everyone was just like saying, the reason why I kind of like pushed for the Zeri moment thing was, okay, hold up, Raptor, he's still doing Raptors.
He's taking the Raptors.
Success. They tried to stop him, but they can't.
You did a nice little zoom in on that as well.
Yeah. But I was like really pushing for the Zeri moment meme because people were saying like Zeri's bad in early game, and I'm like, no, what? Like she is the early game AD carry. And she's also the late game AD carry, which is somewhat problematic, but
she is the Azir of the AD carry role, but even more broken.
She's also very good in the mid game, as it turns out.
Yes. And yeah, a lot of whelps, absolutely, because it does feel like that's kind of been the story for Gen.G. It's like, well, the Zeri got 2 kills. Well, what are we going to do about this? Well, Ophelia's going to try to poke. Well, I don't know. As, yeah, these 2 tanks.
See if anyone on Gen.G falls behind and turns into a whelp with a WHELP. But at this moment in time, looking pretty good.
Yeah, no Anixia in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. That's lost, but he is dead.
Does
not even get to flash away, so he's going to save that for the next fight. As the Rift Herald, by the way, was started up here by Winner. It is going to reset, but Bro should be able to take this down for free. And Wolf, I don't know. Maybe Challenger's just the place where you get 2 zeros because Bro are absolutely just dunking on them today.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Winner's plan is here. They don't have Shiv yet for Ophelia. He's coming in there. He just gets Polymorph pushed away. Like, this is how you could maybe steal a Herald at best or lose the game right now. So I hope for the best for you, Gen.G.
Zest is going to ult in, and the Smite will... I don't even know who picked that up. We'll have to wait and see. But Bro... doing pretty decent, although getting low here is Kara. Sticks around. Frim also going to be taken out as Raptor looks like he did pick up the eye at least, but a couple of kills did go the way of Gen.G.
Yeah, I want to watch that replay again because I think Zest actually did a massive knock up there in the middle of the fight and just prevented any sort of follow-up there, and Karis had already used his engage.
Very confused in this fight,
yeah, so let's see. Zest is in the front line here. Ults, Karis flashes, he turns around. He's polymorph. It's really just so much damage here on the...
Actually didn't knock him.
Yeah, it was Lospo who did some stuff with his engage. It was really a Lospo fight. Okay. Like, the Ornn engage looked good. Like, you know, you've got an Annie in there doing damage, but no 80 carry, so the comp, I guess, just doesn't work if you don't have that damage coming through from Enish, whereas Carfe also wasn't there, but Ophelia did some decent work. He's got his Shiv now. So, you know what?
We are shivin'.
I apologize to Gen.G. I was like, well, this is either you steal a Herald or you lose the game, and they did not steal the Herald, but they also won team fight. Went better than I expected.
It was all right. Okay, he got that thing. That was scary. It's okay. It's okay. We're all good. We need to freak out.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried.
And now Ophelia just gets to push mid and leave. It's very good as well with the minion changes.
Yeah.
The waves and stuff, because mid laners kind of have to be around more often, and now you can just not
Yeah, Riot is trying to
Just attack.
decide whether they think mid laners need to be in the lane or not. And you know, pendulum is swinging back and forth a little bit on that. It's going to swing again in a future patch, but right now it's kind of like wave clear is really important. Annie's got good wave clear, but will not be able to compete with static Shiv. So Paris just gonna sit here and farm. Because the game is a lot more even now after that Rift Herald fight. As Raptor's going in.
Yeah, getting in onto winner, but the TPs are coming out. Raptor is quite tanky, as both tanks, though, are going to join the fight. Brim and Zest getting on in here. And this is a fight over the Cloud Drake. Bro is able to get pretty much all the Drakes except one in the last game. And actually, maybe they just got all of them. Not sure. Still going to have good position here on this Chemtech
Lost
Drake.
another flank.
Yeah, Lost Ball on the flank, trying to get into that backline. Is going to catch Palu and Frim, but that's not really the critical targets here. Going to deny the Ornn ult, but Zest now does not have any help. Everybody else is so low on health outside of Ophelia, but as we know, he just shivs people, and that's it. So, that's going to be a kill now for the Zeri. Maybe like a mini Zeri moment, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be Bro who pick up the win as 2,300 damage done.
Yeah.
Zeri.
So Shiv can do some of that bounce damage, right? You got Hextech, Soul, which you can do, which is going to be Hextech, by the way. Soul, watch it. Oh, actually it was Cloud. My bad.
I was just delayed. I got it right.
Yeah.
Right?
But, you know, Shiv does some bounce damage. Shiv's kind of chaining stuff together. Zeri, on the other hand, her ultimate, does some bounce damage. She going in over the wall. She can assassinate Carfe here. He is forced to flash, so he can't be relevant in this fight, and Zest is eventually pushed down. They deny the Ornn Horn. I think if that Ornn, second part of the Ornn ultimate is activated, then this fight is more disastrous, of course, on the side of Gen.G is. Okay, once again, Lospa.
Karis, though, with the Proto Belt, just going to use that to gain a little bit of space and has his teammates to come on over. The damage not quite there for the side of Gen. Generator Gaming.
Generator Gaming. Trying to generate a gold lead here, starting off with about 100. This Rift Herald is just a big minion. Just a big minion.
Rift Herald is related
wait.
to... Yeah, it's just not... Okay, that's sad. It's related to the Scuttle Crab, right?
Yeah, I think so, because it has a similar, like...
Anatomy?
Yeah, you could tell by, like, the top of its head and its ears are very similar to the Scuttle Crab. I think it might be a Scuttle Crab that, like, gets some dark tech under the rift and then reappears, of course, in the Baron pit. I don't know what Baron is from. Like, I don't know where the origins of Baron are.
You guys were saying it was a woman, but literally his name is Baron.
I mean,
Baron
I thought maybe
Nasher.
it was.
It's not a Baroness Nasher, okay? Like,
we got to the bottom of it eventually, but I don't know.
okay.
Look, Baron to me is a thing that shoots out abilities and gives each
buffs.
person 300 gold buffs and lets you push the lane, and is often the source of many a frustrating loss for many of our good teams here in the LCK and LCK Challengers. But where he or she or it is from is less relevant to me.
This gonna get a bunch done onto Enosh here, but again, he is Zeri, and
Enosh is like, did I mess up, or will I actually wipe your entire team? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, he ulted 3 of them and got the Wild Growth, right? So it's like, okay, you do not have the damage to kill him at this point in time, especially because Carfe at this moment is not really getting any damage done in either of the games.
It's just like, I'm watching this moment and like, I was like, Enosh, man, like, you got to be paying attention. Like, what are you doing? Then maybe and then I watched that happen. And I'm like, maybe he just was trying to calculate, can I actually just kill all 3 of them if they try to hit me? And the answer was almost yes. Concerning, to say the least. But the moment has passed.
Is Zeri the problem, or is it Enchanters? I would say yes to both. Zeri is a problem. She can be played with Rakan. She can be played with Nautilus. She can be played with Veigar for all I care. But she is even more OP by the fact that Enchanters are really strong, and Lulu, Zeri, and all these things. Not Zeri, Yumi.
Karma was
Karma.
Like that, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember
She's
that.
not
champ.
relevant anymore,
I
but
don't know who that is anymore. They're all very strong, right? And Ardent Sensor got nerfed, but it doesn't matter because in general they're strong. And I feel like the support meta is like in a decent spot. Like we see a lot of engaged supports as well, but Enchanters are still very strong, especially with Zeri. So That's still the case. Aphelios Yumi also very strong.
So somebody asked a really good question in the chat. This is something that could be confusing if you're learning League of Legends. The difference between a mage and an enchanter is a mage is a damage user. Basically, they do damage, whereas an enchanter is generally supportive.
I thought you were talking about the question, cannot kill anyone?
Oh.
I thought you were like
Also
doing
a very
big
good question.
main lead up to like, oh, you know, a lot of people ask this, cannot kill anyone? Yes, so the answer to that is, yeah.
You should see a specialist about that. This is going to be my new canned response.
Tanners are your healers. They're kind of like support characters that. Yeah, they're not
So
meant to do damage.
enchanter is basically a support that does not attack with melee, but it rather supports with abilities like shields, for example. Kind of enchanter equals shields most of the time. Can also equal heals, but it's much less common, of course, in League of Legends. Support usually kind of means engage or peel, not so much heal. So Carpe,
he's been having a rough day, man.
he's just, I mean, he has, like, but part of it has been on him, but a lot of it has just been on the fact that Eunice and Palu are kind of crushing.
Aphelios, as far as I can tell, did not auto there. Did a little bit of damage. Rocket is Enchanter, yes. Raptor once again, TP forced out from both top laners. This is just the way this goes. Paulo almost dies to the LeBlanc.
This turret is dead. It's gone.
Hey, Gen.G getting some space on the map. The Wolf turret is down. There's no Zoe, but that's fine.
Yeah, still applies in this case with a LeBlanc. And Aphelios in the back line here. Palu in danger. Ow! Not that much danger, apparently. Was in danger, but he's okay. As this is actually going to be the Drake going over to Gen.G. Okay, savings break, Bro not in position to contest. And I do think that, unfortunately, Bro here have messed up their macro a little bit. Paulo taking a ton of damage in that like pre-setup fight where they were trying to push in and get the Zeri in a position, really costing them a lot of control there. And with a little Blanc on the other side, Bro just not willing to hard commit. And we'll give up the Drake. But they're up 2 Drakes, and they're scaling, so it's okay. I think if they could take a team fight on their terms, they would have been happy to fight that one out, but they could not. So we still need to see Gen.G consistently push the boundaries of what this comp is capable of, like what they did here, for them to take this win. I still think that I like the position of Bro right now. If we were playing the Challengers game, I'd actually vote for them, even though they're down almost 2,000 gold.
Challengers game, like who's gonna win?
Yeah, who's gonna win from here? I'm picking Bro on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Zeri.
Okay. I mean, that's basically what I'm saying, but I also think they have a comp that empowers the Zeri, so Zeri's even stronger than normal because he's got an Enchanter.
Live Jiv, you've asked this question twice. The answer is pick Zeri. Or Annie. Annie's really good. If you're
Nico,
actually in Silver 4, which I know you're not, you can just go mid, press Q on minions, press Tippers on champion, and feel good about yourself.
I think Nico is also a good option where you could just press Q on the minions and kill all of them while also like taking away like 1/4 of the enemy laner's health. And occasionally just press R and win the game for your team. You could hide and do some of that stuff if you want, but it's like, you know, if you're in silver, you don't even have to do that. You just walk at them, flash on them. Lospa is trying to be a hero. Don't think now is the time.
Really wants that control ward. It's not going to happen unless Winter comes over. Winter came over. Got the control ward.
But will they be able to stay for dinner is the question. Or is Paulu's mom going to say, we don't have enough tonight. I'm going to need to call your mom. She's going to have to come pick you up. And then Winter's parents already ate dinner, so like Winter has to like eat some little Debbie snacks.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole start of the unhealthy cycle. I don't know. I guess he did have to go home, yeah. I'm not speaking from like personal experience or anything like that. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, Ophelia.
I hope we get some action in this game.
Yeah, I'm not confident that's going to happen, Valdez.
Yeah, I feel like this is the game that Gen.G wanted to play in game number 1. And they're getting a chance to do it now. Certainly helps that the lane did not go 2-0 on the bottom side to begin with. So, you know, they're going to have Carpe in a better spot. They're going to have Ophelia obviously is in a much better spot. They have picked up a couple of objectives. Bet on Zeri or Shiv LeBlanc. I would say Zeri.
I mean, based on what we saw from Shiv LeBlanc in Game 1, not too confident just yet. And it's not Showmaker, so...
Getting Zeri already is a draft diff. Kind of, but there are ways to play around it. Like, it's not 100% win rate, you know.
But I think in this game, they have a really good comp for it, as long as they execute correctly. And, I mean, this is not where you want to be as Luspa and Winner here. They're going to need to vacate the premises. It's still very early, by the way, for this for grouping up on this Drake, 90 seconds. But they're just trying to kind of shadow Ophelia here for him to take this turret down. And with this big cannon wave here, I think he actually will get it. Also, look at Zest on the top side of the map. He's looking to do some damage here to this inner turret. And Bro kind of grouped here around Dragon to deny Winner and Luspa, but then didn't get any kills, nor hard committed, and will just lose a lot on the map. That's a whole turret down, and not a lot of map control gotten back here, and Carfe is just sitting here farming. He's significantly behind, but is probably able to buy that Gale Force now. You have to imagine with the back timing.
Hope so. He's really going to need it for the next fight. And the timing, as you mentioned, it should be the purchase. There it is. Back as well. He's going to clear one more wave. Back and then join the team on the Dragon. These two teams have been doing this like clockwork, where it's like, okay, it's time for Dragon. Both top laners TP in. We 5v5. Somebody gets like a little bit of poke, and then the other team just backs away. It hasn't been the most entertaining, as here we go. TP comes in from Frim.
Let's see that LeBlanc poke. Ophelia is coming on the flank angle here. There is a ward, or it's the scuttle rather. Zest not in a great position to engage. This is wild, this setup for this fight. Everything's going wide. And here comes Ophelia. The poke. The poke. The poke.
Oh, Zest in a bit of trouble too. He's actually taking some critical damage here from Enosh. As meanwhile, Ophelia is doing the same to Raptor.
Yeah, I mean, Ophelia is doing damage to the whole team, whereas they're just doing damage to Zest. So I'm kind of liking this for Gen.G.
Hey, they want to get in. They Tibbers onto Carfe, who is now out of the fight, but the Ornn ultimate actually gets some good work there as well, as Carfe trying to fight front to back. Down goes Annie. And now Gen.G have a potential to win this fight here. Enosh, wild growth, but not able to do critical damage in this fight as he's trying to do so now.
How good is Zeri?
How good is the Zeri? And the Zeri player, Ophelia, is here. I mean, all 5 of them are here. Enosh, that was a little bit too close. He's going to get chained, and he is going to die. As the Zeri, this time, not good enough. And Gen.G will win a big fight.
Clearly balanced. Only did 5,000 damage. Clearly balanced. Now
they killed him in the end.
They killed him in the end, so definitely not a skill issue. Just completely balanced. Now, Gen.G here will tie up the Drakes 2-2, their second Cloud Drake of the game. And now they're in a really nice spot, as Ophelia took out so much of the health here of Bro before this fight even started. And yeah, so did Zest, took a lot of damage, but like Carfe avoids the engage because he is Ophelios. He has Gale Force. Look at this Tibber engage, flashes out. And then they get the knockups here onto Frim and follow-up ult from Carfe is really good. And it's really just Carfe doing a majority of the damage here with Ophelia bouncing. And Enosh is so far away, and the wild growth is not, it was just like with his dying breath, not really useful here at all. And, no, I mean, Zeri's good, but this is a bridge too far.
1v5, not this time. Not like old Viego. We did see that from time to time. We might be able to see the Zeri do that in the future, but need some more items. At this point in time, keep in mind, guys, that she is doing that amount of damage with a tank build, right? So we're going to see Titanic Hydra third, and she's going to be really tanky. She's going to be over 3,000 health, and as these fights come along, it is going to be pretty huge. But as a team, Gen.G absolutely are doing a better job. I feel like Zest is really providing a good front line. The damage actually nicely split, as this time, though, they're going to get caught in the mid lane as Carpe, no cleanse, no hope, as Tibbers comes down. He is DED dead. As now Enosh coming on in here. The Ornn ult is fantastic, actually. Catches both of them As Ophelia now on the run, he's not really able to do much. I mean, he will survive because he's LeBlanc, and that might just be the Baron. They are going to start it up here.
All right, Ophelia, how good is that poke? He's going to have to make a lot happen here with very little. He is starting things off here very nicely. I think Breon should just continue to focus the Baron, have Fryn be the gatekeeper here, and I think they should still be able to secure this. Karis also has his stun prepped right now, and Tibbers is doing a ton of damage. Ooh, misses it.
Ophelia's like, I got to get my damage numbers high. I got to get in there and poke. Meanwhile, probably should just be pushing the mid lane, and that's what he's going to do now, a little bit too late. But yeah, they get caught here in mid, which was not very good.
Yeah, no vision here on the Raptors, and that's where Raptor comes from. That's
all makes sense.
Yeah, it all is just stacked up, and Carfe just gets obliterated. The thing is,
back to Raptor.
It's so funny because he was arguably positioned the safest, but like the team gets caught, and then he's like, well, I have to come over here and try to help out, or else they both die. But then he dies ultimately, and then they end up losing the Baron. Add sniper to the thing, all the things that Ornn is, with that ultimate as well that does connect onto Winner from a very long distance away. That was actually really critical. Helps take away the enemy jungler so they can take the Baron. And I mean, you watch these moments, and yeah, this is Gen.G overextending, but you can see, bro, if the comp works together, it is just so robust.
A lot of discussion about, you know, can Gen.G win this or can they lose this? This is Challenger League, guys. This happens all the time. Every match, you never know who's going to win. It doesn't matter if there's a favorite or not, unless you're DK. They are, so far, at least. You never know. Maybe today's the day where they get upset. But yeah, bro, just
never
able to find...
Never a safe bet, you could
never
say.
say never. Yeah, never a safe bet.
Never a safe bet.
Just, Aris got TP, he's got a stopwatch, and he's going to survive for now. Stun not there on the Zest, but Tibbers out there doing damage. Winner in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Ornn ult, as Sudge ult is going to miss. Flash in from Karis, as he's looking for the stun. He's going to get it onto Zest underneath this turret, and unfortunately he's just out of position for now. Too far down the lane, the TP comes in, and Bro going to turn this fight in their favor.
Yeah, Ophelia here not able to do anything, and I mean, this is Baron buff for another minute as well. They should be able to take out this inner, grouped up here as 5, and unfortunately with the outer and mid taken long ago, there's not much that can be taken here in the middle of the map for Gen.G. Like, to try to actually take the inner, the mid-outer is what I was referring to earlier, is gone.
Winner?
Like, Winner? He's going to do it. Winner
on the inner.
Yep, so they will get it, actually. They do hard commit, as I think Bro definitely could have split this up a little bit better to make sure they could win, especially when you consider Baron and powered recalls. So, I mean, some critical money going to this Aphelios. Will Raptor die? No way, right?
He's got to get to the Raptors, and I think he's safe. Okay, nice dodge. And now he's going to charge away. Easily done by Raptor. So he didn't even need the Raptors. Maybe he, like, generated enough Raptor power from his last Raptor play, so he's fine.
It was an Arctic assault on Lospa's pride to get out of there like that. Clean. Easy.
Easy clap.
Okay. We did it.
Now Gen.G, they're still ahead in terms of gold. So they say, well, we can still fight this. They obviously don't have gold numbers, but they can feel that, okay, we've still got some decent power. Ophelia still being annoying on the side. And again, he doesn't really do much damage as the Sedge ult into a Scion. Definitely an interesting choice. As Ornn also going to charge into Scion. That's also an interesting choice. Lostbow with a very nice engage here. Prim in a lot of trouble. Down he will go as Enos in the pit here. Not really able to get much critical damage onto this team, as now he is still trying to engage. Very low on health, as one more auto will do it, and there it is from Ophelia. He gets in, as the Dragon also will get onto Gen.G, and the Aphelios does almost 8,000 damage.
Yeah. Maybe that one needs a look too.
200 years?
I think that this was a very sloppy fight for Bro, and I think a lot of it comes down to Raptor's decision to try to burst down the enemy Scion there. I'll watch it again, the angle on which he takes, because I saw that it hit Zest, but I wasn't sure what he was trying to angle for. Yeah, just, I guess maybe he's trying to catch Ophelia there, but that's really hopeful. Looks like he's just trying to hit Zest. Lospa gets the double knock up here, and Enosh just doesn't have the range to actually get onto the backline here, and Zest is completely zoning him out. Even though Zest was the main target here for Breon, he just stands between Enosh and doing any relevant damage, whereas on the other side, Carpe is free firing. And Ophelia is also doing massive damage with each and every proc of his Shiv. So, bit of a big one here on the side of Gen.G. I'm not saying this game is over now, but that was really a big step in the right direction. We also saw some messy fights from them, but this one is the cleanest. And, I mean, it gives me some hope that maybe they could actually win 5v5s, even though I think the comp is better here for Bro, because the coordination was just a little bit off there. And by a little bit, I mean significantly.
Yeah. It was not okay, man, Bro, from my perspective. Don't throw everything into a Scion that has 3 tank items. Generally not a good idea. We have the Lich Bane this time for Ophelia. He went for Void Staff last time, deciding that, hey, I want better autos, and it's probably a good idea. I think that just the amount of on-hit damage you get from that is insane. As once again, a one-fight from Gen.G into Bro, looking for the kill as Enosh is just going to assassinate Carfe. You cannot get away from the Zeri. If she has room, she will chase you down. Here comes Enosh once again, just running into 2 people, does not give a damn. As underneath the turret, yeah, cool turret, Bro, he says. Gonna take out Winner. No, he's gonna go into the stopwatch. Will die eventually to Raptor.
So,
Paula nearly dies, and Lospa will.
Are we just gonna classify Zeri as a bruiser now as well? Like, I feel like at this point, like...
They're losing their base, by the way.
Yeah, well... Okay, he will get out. Tibra's gonna drop down. Zest is also trying to out-macro here, as they're just going to do Baron. I think this is okay, as long as they keep both of these inhibitors alive, which they should be able to do. Because, I mean, inhibitor turrets, you know, that's significant. Losing those is a lot of money, as well as these inhibitors now open, but if you use this Baron to then get so much map control that the enemy team will never even be close to those, it doesn't necessarily matter. See how much damage this Baron does get done. This game has been wild. And Carpe is just, unfortunately, way too far up here without vision of where the enemy Sejuani is. Does cleanse immediately, but it doesn't matter. And then Enosh is just like, I got wild growth, and I'm Zeri, so I'm just going to go over the wall. And
over 3,000.
Just, yeah, as you say, tanky. Like, what is the opposite of a glass cannon? A diamond cannon? That was the term I used on LCK the other day.
Yeah.
Like,
Juggernaut. A tank. It's a tank. That does damage. It's like old Ornn. Or current Cassante, right? Coincidentally, also permabanned. I wonder why. So
curious.
Yeah, curious. I wonder. Bro, once again they pick up the Baron, but once again they're behind on gold, and they're not handling the macro of this game very well. Like, who's going to go back and stop this?
Yeah, this time they should be able to get double inhib, actually. No one's going back. Like, this is super slow. Even with Baron-empowered recalls, I think they're probably going to lose these. I say that, though, and not the fastest push here from this Viego and the Scion. They're going to stick around. This is going to get a little bit awkward here. Like, Bro getting really tested, and they're kind of not answering at all.
Raptor's like, oh god, I gotta stop them both. There's the back. It's not going to be stopped, but they back after the inhibitor goes.
They're also backing
with
right
Baron
in front of the static Shiv LeBlanc, who's bouncing autos and stopping their backs. Like, this, I mean, I think this is well played from Gen, because they know they could bounce and stop backs here, even though it's Baron empowered, and still hard push this. And Bro just really failing to realize the threat they're under. I talked about it a moment ago. Oh, you have Baron buff, so you feel okay about losing those turrets because there's no way that they will actually come and threaten those inhibitors while you have Baron buff. Well, if you don't prep all your waves and you just go straight top as an entire team, then yeah, actually, as it turns out, they will get an inhibitor there. And so they did. Now, this fight is really important. This is where we need to see Zeri pop off if Bro is going to win this one. Otherwise, I think we're going to a third.
Right. A little bit of a late TP from Zest, but it's okay. Nothing really has happened, and he knows that he can just stand in the front and try to bait out a bunch of abilities into him once again. That is definitely going to be the goal for Zest in this fight. Damage coming in onto the Baron, or the Dragon rather. Kara's still on the backside of this one. Lospa looking for the angle. He will not find it, as there is an angry Annie here, as Winner gonna get on top of that. Damage already being done to Frim on the top side. You see that Ophelia's consistent poke is actually just way too much for him to handle, as now they're just backing away. Karis nearly dies. And okay, flash in. Winner's gonna go down, but it's still gonna be LeBlanc that gets the Cloud Soul. But now it's a 5v4, and Enosh gets the back line here as the damage comes out from the Aphelios, but it is not nearly enough. Enosh has a stopwatch as well. He misses the dash over the wall as we are on a wild ride,
Aphelios
ladies
is
and
actually
gentlemen.
just going to try to like end the game backdoor here while they're slowly backing. Not actually, but he's going to be able to help send these in. And he kind of harass him and hit these turrets. Yeah, he's going to hit the turret a few times here. Actually might be able to get one.
This is the Lichbane tech as well, so Ophelia, I think he's totally fine.
Yeah, he flashes because
like desperate,
yeah, he almost had his stun prep, but
God.
they will get the turret. And I mean, it's 4 Cloud Soul Drakes here, 4 Cloud Soul for Gen.G, so they're very fast, which is also insanely good for how they're split pushing here in this game. And this fight is kind of a disaster. Like, instead of actually hard committing to killing this Viego while he's in res animation, I think they could have done this a lot cleaner. They wanted so hard to make sure they could get him so they could get the Drake. They still failed to get the Drake. And then Carfe is caught here, does of course get just absolutely blasted by the Zeri. Lospa doing his best to peel. The wild growth is good. He's got stopwatch just for good measure. You're never going to catch that LeBlanc though, so you win the fight, quote unquote, but I mean, the base is a problem. And now they only have 1 Nexus turret. And Ophelia is actually just straight up a win condition now in this game. He has death cap, so he does so much damage to turrets, it's absurd. And if a wave gets into the base and ET isn't, he could just win it by himself because he could just bounce around with his distortions and just kill the Nexus. X-Peck it.
There's always a lot of discussion in Challenger League games about, like, oh, these players, they don't know what to do. Like, I think the pressure oftentimes of playing on stage and playing as a 5-man unit, sometimes it gets difficult, you know, when you get into these positions. At least now they have grouped up as a 5-man unit in mid, which is where the inhibitor is down. Definitely a good idea. Especially with Baron coming up here in a minute. Because this one definitely feels like either a Baron or Elder Flip angle with Ophelia just ending the game in the back door. Like with 1 Nexus turret, he is just going to destroy that base really, really quickly. If he ever gets an angle, and he nearly has his teleport back up. There is no ward in the base at the moment, but definitely is a big win condition for Gen.G.
He's got the Oblivion Orb, you know, to help the Zeri issue. You know, if he ends up getting a ton of money, he may even want to consider getting a Cosmic Drive or something for just the additional AP, but he is seen by these minions. And they're like, what do we do? Like, bro, look like a bit of a... They have kind of the deer in the headlights kind of look here because they're like, Baron's spawning at 15, but Ophelia could end the game. So we have to kind of camp mid and prep this wave to make sure that he can't just push down mid and end it. He needs those minions, so kind of have to huddle around this. Good job from Karas to deal with the top wave. And bro, I mean, I don't know if they have the speed to do this, to be honest. As look at this, Ophelia, again, just pushing that mid wave. Inhibitor's still down for 30, so super minion's still going to spawn.
Second they show. They just started up, but Ophelia is fight. There's no wave in mid, so he can't really do damage to the turret. They say, okay, he's got to get in here and try to help out, but he's not really doing consistent damage. They're going to turn onto Zest. This has not worked in the past. A big Moonlight Vigil doesn't really get the crit nor the damage as Tivers comes down, hits nothing. In goes Lospa, trying to get into that backline, hits a massive charm onto the back, and now Ophelios is doing so much to this team. Down goes the Zeri, and I think we have the team fight here for Gen.G. Prim is desperate to try to stop this from going down, but TP into mid, and Gen.G will be able to force a 3rd game in this series.
There they go, straight into mid. It's LeBlanc with Static Shiv, and it is a split-pushing Gen.G to win. Not winning a majority of the team fights, but winning in the macro, that is for sure. Winner, Zest, and Ophelia, all 3 players prepping for a completely different win condition, avoiding the Zeri entirely, it felt like, minus those 2 fights that went really badly for Bro. But Gen.G, the much better team here in game 2 to force the 3rd. And I mean, this is the kind of series we expected, to be totally honest, and it's delivering.
Yeah.
In some parts better than others, but it's a close one.
Yeah, it definitely is. Gen.G, it feels like they just had a better head on their collective shoulders, if you will, right? Like, they kept it cool and calm. They found angles with Ophelia. They found ways to essentially force Bro to play on their terms, especially this last fight. Once again, like, Zest is being such a thorn in their side, and Bro cannot handle the pressure. They're like, well, we got to do something. We have to press our buttons. Raptor's trying to hit Lospa, who's coming in, but Lospa, he waits, delays, and then he gets the perfect follow-up.
Yeah, and they're able to delete the Zeri pretty early after this as well. And Lospa, like, I ended up voting for Zest because I think he had the most consistent performance, but Lospa might end up taking this. He might have 2 support votes back to back, but
Not voting for that. I'm gonna vote for mid.
I'm not voting for the Shiv bounce to bounce around.
I'm voting for the Shiv bouncer.
I'm not doing it. I mean, he played well, but I thought Zest was much more impactful. Zest also split push, arguably.
Oh, we have
more.
an angry better who's looking to get banned. Welcome to the
First time
stream.
chatter, last time chatter.
And first time chatter, last time chatter, goodbye.
It's okay. Well, we're going to 3. I don't know what game 3 is going to look like. I feel like we are going to see a similar draft, though, with Zeri versus LeBlanc again.
Yeah, I feel like this is Challenger League, so I don't think much is going to change.
I don't
right?
think so. I think these teams have
LCK,
decided how they
yeah.
want to do this series, and they're just not going to change it up.
In LCK, you have like a team of coaches. You have somebody who's like an actual draft analyst, and he's like, okay, this is how we're going to change things. And players kind of have a better understanding as well of like what went wrong and how it happened. I guarantee you, bro, are like, man, we were so close. Like, how did we lose that one?
Yeah.
And the coach will like try to break it down, and they'll try to work through it. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to say, okay, we got to ban LeBlanc, right? Like, that's going to be the end. As 100% kill participation on the LeBlanc, and Ophelia will pick it up here 6-0 and 10. A much cleaner game of LeBlanc this time around, but you can see just how oppressive the pick is, especially when the game is much more even, or even when they're ahead, right? Game number 1 was not a good example, but Ophelia was able to make it happen here in game 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's much more impressive at doing a large amount of damage share quite high. I think a lot of this on the fact that Carfe also just didn't have a lot of agency in terms of damage percent. Just wasn't doing that much minus those last few fights. And yeah, I mean, I think we'll see one more of these. I think both teams kind of run it back, and we'll see another Zeri versus Aphelios probably. Hopefully not Zaya. And a little bit of LeBlanc action. We'll see if Bro can tighten up the map a little bit better. Or maybe we'll just see it bend and it'll be a completely different game. But just based on what we've seen in our first 2, I'm leaning towards we'll see something familiar.
Yeah, I think at least one of the 2 will get through between LeBlanc and Zeri. Perhaps we see like an Aphelios Yumi angle in game 3. Could be the way as the music goes nuts. And that means we're ready for a break. Hello and welcome back. We are getting ready for game number 3 between Gen.G Global Academy and OK Savings Bank Breon. That's a mouthful. I'm Valdez. With me is Wolf AI, and we are getting into this one. Who's going to take it this time, Wolf? No pressure.
I mean, I was wrong. I said that I thought Bro was going to take it,
Same.
even though they had a almost 2K gold deficit there. So I might be wrong, but I think Bro has played better in general around like early game and team fights. So I like to reward teams that are proactive and make smart decisions in the early game. So I'm gonna say Bro. I think Bro's taking it.
Wouldn't that be Gen.G after what we saw in game 2? Okay. Bro had a better draft, but unfortunately Rakan is too OP. Interesting take you've got there, Denunciator. As Bro have selected blue side.
I think he's trolling.
It's Denunciator. He gets his trolls in early. Kevin Kim says yes or no. Well, it is 50-50, so either it's yes or either it's no. You know, you only have 2 choices, so it's right down the middle.
Can we get some yays or nays in the chat?
Nay.
Okay. All right, so Bro picked the blue side, as you mentioned. Let's jump into this draft, the final draft of the series. Let's see if things are going to change or not change, because my vote is on not change.
Bomgar asks, what happened to other channel? We took it outside and blew it up.
I thought I was told.
Also, it'll be back on Wednesday.
Also, Zeri is banned. So
We can't find the shit. Zeri banned? What is it? What did they mean by this?
They do not want to deal with it anymore. I say Bro ban Aphelios now.
Not Academy. Why are the commentators so mean today? Sorry, guys. You know, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Had to come in and cast some challengers.
I woke up on the right side of the bed, but I had to come in and cast challenges.
Generally, a very fun and enjoyable experience, but today is different.
Today, the first series has really just pulled out my rage, and like, I know it's going to be a long time with this Shiv LeBlanc, so I'm like, we'll see it a lot.
Hey!
Oh,
You banner
right.
Zeri?
No Zeri and no LeBlanc?
It's okay, they're just going to play Veigar Shiv.
No!
AIs go to bed. No, we
Does
just
Veigar
power off.
Does Veigar have distortion? I don't think so.
So, Aphelios first pick.
Hold on. Yeah.
Good.
Milio also available, but
Yep, now you have to take Milio away, and then
Milio
you pick
Jinx?
a jungler. No, you save Jinx for
well,
third
yeah,
pick.
I mean, is that going to be the duo we see? Is
Yes.
the question.
Or is it a Neela angle? No, it's not. But, yeah, probably Milio and
Milio
Jinx.
Annie, also pretty solid for the lineup here. Could have been like, that's not Milio at all.
Like, is that Rakan? Okay, but no, it's Zaya.
That's Zaya. I thought we learned about that one's not the one that you want. Well, now
I guess they
maybe
didn't learn
Nautilus
from
again.
Game 1.
Yumi Aphelios is a bit of a classic in the LCK. It's a bit of a it's a little bit not successful here in LCK Challenge. It's not working very well. So let's see if they do decide to commit to it. Sejuani will get locked in.
My soul is leaving my body. I am drifting away. I am going down the river. What is that river that it's like the river in hell that goes down to the place
Yeah,
where, like, the devil
I
is.
know where you're talking. Styx, yeah.
Yeah, the river Styx. There you go.
And
That's where
chat
my
is
soul
on
is.
top of it.
Look at chat. Okay, everybody has to type Styx now.
Yeah, but I mean, chat like knew really quickly. I'm like really impressed with you, chat. Chat's
Matter
on
if you're
top of
late.
it, man.
Like 1 or 2 guys knew, and then everybody else just they got to get their sticks in there. Hi,
No,
Catboy Cooties.
I think the people typing it now just have a little bit of a delay.
What kind of delay?
I think they just have bad internet, so it's fine. Now they'll stop. 'cause
Squid
they don't wanna
lizard.
admit bad internet. Azir's banned.
Don't forget to put a coin on your tongue to play Sharon.
All right. So anyway, let's go back to the draft. Let's go back to the League of Legends.
Oh, there's League of Legends happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I
it's
forgot.
not happening
Okay.
yet, but we are choosing how it will happen. Oh, we're picking Scion this time on blue side for Bro.
It's an excellent draft.
See, that's a Zest POG vote from Bro if I've ever seen one. Oh, they also banned the LeBlanc. So,
thank you, Disco P.
what are they going
Discop.
to? What are they going to do here with this final bag? Gragas is gone.
Why did you say on his friend?
They can if they
He
don't,
is, of course.
if they just ban Gwen here and then go, all right, well it's your pick now, Gen.G. They can just take Scion on red side and be happier with it. So
Probably should.
I think they will. It does weaken the jungle picks, or rather, it puts their jungle pick as counter, which is not that great. But I think the Scion is worth it.
It feels that way, right? I mean, there again, like I said before, there is still other stuff you can pick into it. It's not just Gwen, but Gwen is the best pick. So, a big consideration, and Lee Sin is the decision.
Yep, locking that in. So very popular here in Challengers, getting a little bit more success in the LCK last week. So now the question becomes, what are we seeing in these solo lanes? Scion, as expected, but what's going to be the mid lane here into the Annie?
Vagar Shiv.
RS could play Syndra, but I don't really like it. Don't do Ahri. It's not what we need. We need something with either high prio or hard CC.
They heard you say Ahri, but you cut out in the beginning.
I said not Ahri. I said don't pick the Ahri.
Yeah, but not in Korean means daytime.
Yeah. And unfortunately...
Daytime Ahri. Here we are.
Yeah, unfortunately its
4
sunset
PM.
is a few hours away. We got about 4 hours left for that one. All right, well, it's going to be Gnar into the Scion. I actually like the comp of Gen.G better this time. For the first time this series, I really feel like they actually got something that makes sense. They got the Xayah and the Rakan, so there's actually synergy in this lane. It's into Aphelios Yumi, so not a lot of lane pressure. Kara's playing Ahri into the Annie, not a lot of lane prio. It's Scion, so he's kind of a potato in the early game. On blue side especially, and then Sejuani, like Ahri synergy, it's not great. It's not great, but I mean, at least they can set up CC together. Maybe they could try to make a successful gank happen on Ophelia before Lee Sin is going to be relevant. I mean, Lee Sin can have some power in the early game, but not in this mid lane, I don't think. It's going to be based on Ophelia's stun, whether it's set up or not. So, but otherwise, I think the comp is pretty good for Gen.G. They've got the ability to engage. They also have escape for Xayah.
I believe in Aphelios Yumi, and the fact that the bottom lane, yes, they got Zeri twice, but it just feels like Enesh and Paulo are playing it better. So I feel like there are angles for both teams. For me, it's the bottom lane of Bro. I do kind of agree that I think Gen.G have a pretty nice coordinated draft here, but at the end of the day, sometimes just a front line and a better bot duo gets it done. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here in game number 3, because that wasn't enough to get them across the line in game 2 for Bro.
Yeah, I really think this could go either way. I said it before the series, like when you asked me, I thought it was going to be OK Savings Bank Breon, but leaning the other way now. We're not going to play a Challengers game until we get into the game itself, if we are going to play it, because that's when you have to ask going around like 15 to 18 minutes or something like that. That's when it gets more fun. But we will have our deciding game. One of these teams is going to walk home with W.
We will decide who is going to take the best of 3 now.
That's what this is. It's a tournament,
3.
man. We're going to find out who's going to win and who's going to lose.
The deciding match game.
I got scared. I
Well, that
thought
was
something was a
scary.
little off there. I thought we had a little hiccup.
They're just challenging us now. They're like messing with the beats so that we kind of have to. We got to roll with the
No, it's not going
punches.
to be lethality, Xayah. Fortunately for you at home, you won't have to witness that on this stream today, at least in this game.
It will not be Shiv Ahri, by the way.
No.
People are saying in chat, they're like, okay, this is going to be Shiv Ahri. I don't think so.
No.
I mean,
no.
Yeah, okay, Ahri's got some good mobility, but I don't know. I think you would still want to go Fleet Footwork.
She has good mobility in
Once.
terms of like, yeah, exactly. She has good mobility when she has her
Well, 3
ultimate.
times.
Yeah, which is very limited in what she's not a poke champion, so she is an all-in pick champion. That's why she picked Electrocute as her keystone rune. And yeah, as Yumi, she's just being loud and doing Yumi things.
Kind of like Maru.
Yeah, my cat Maro, he's doesn't really sound like that. He sounds much more annoying, but he's my boy.
He always says his name.
Yeah, I'll put him in chat for everybody.
The casters are electro cute.
Ooh.
Thanks, Jarv. Not gonna pronounce the end of your name, because just like Disco P from earlier, I don't know how you guys got through the Twitch terms of whatever, but those names are certainly some of the names of all time.
Yeah, there were a few names that we had when Challengers started, but I was like, I don't think I will see them after day one, but I appreciate the attempt. When we started talking in Twitch chat, some people showing up to try to get involved by having us do, let's just call it an Artosis, but not happening. We will not be fooled.
You mean the wet fartosis?
Some of the names that we used to say and joke about a lot, I will not say in 2023.
True. That one, though, I think is fine.
Yeah.
That one's like kind of borderline, but you know, it's okay. Sneak it in there.
What are your thoughts on T1 being good but lacking big game players? That's like when I post the "that's bait" gif. Like, what does that question even mean?
He's just trying to get a good clip for Reddit, man.
Are you talking about the T1 Challengers team?
No, I think he's talking about, by big game players, I think he means players that will show up on, like, during finals.
Ah. Oh, wait, you actually are, are a translator of Twitch chat, man. You were like, no, this is exactly what he means. You explained it. Winner, if you don't kill that last raptor in this one, you just lose money. It's still going to respawn.
He's gone back to the base.
It's also his own raptor camp, so I don't know why he'd do that. He just didn't get the last one.
Raptor, he's not on the Raptors, but he is counter jungling again.
He is. He's Grombin. And
what is your favorite Nico transformation?
So far, it's definitely been the Scryer's Bloom.
Scryer's Bloom?
Yeah.
Little Krug, though, is very cute.
Little Krug is pretty cute. Like, Canyon, he definitely made a show yesterday of it. The hilarious thing is you just turn into something silly, but it literally doesn't matter. They like 100% know you're there, but you're like, you're so scared because the Nico engage is coming, but it looks like a Gromp also. You're like, this is so dumb and I'm gonna die. I also like just turning into a minion and like trying to actually look natural but failing. I'm like, they'll definitely not know. Enemy just instantly autos me. I'm like, oh.
Maybe they were just trying to auto the minion. But it happened to be you. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, there. Some shenanigans, some hullabaloo down in the bottom lane.
I've watched enough barrel games to know that like it's totally okay to be afraid when that happens. When you get to suddenly the observer cuts, you see a Rakan going in, and you're like, all right, it's okay.
Do you have the VCR hullabaloo in your house?
VCR hullabaloo?
The VCR of the show Hullabaloo.
Oh, you mean like the VCR tape?
Yes.
No. The VCR is what plays the tape, spelled as.
Oh. The VHS.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The
I don't know.
VHS,
It's
yeah,
been
VHS.
a while, guys, okay? Like, I don't own one of those anymore, nor did I at any time because it was technically not mine. Although I did use it.
I did own a VCR at some point because I wanted to watch old movies. I bought one at the store in college.
Well, the charm's going to go wide, and so Raptor's like, well, what am I going to do about this now, Karis? You want me to help kill Tibbers? I guess I will.
Who's going to get it? Oh, Karis got it. Raptor came all the way out here to help out. You didn't even give him the 50?
I had one as a kid, yes. It was just my parents. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't own it. Because when I said own it, it felt weird because I didn't actually own it, you know? My family did.
Did you ever have a VCR tape that got ruined? You know, because like some young kid like pulled the actual like tape out of it and like
no, we
messed it
weren't
up.
degens.
Well, I mean, it didn't have to be you. It could have been somebody was visiting your house and somebody's baby just got a hold of Raiders of the Lost Ark and ruined your childhood. I don't know.
Sounds like you want to talk about it. Raptor's in a lot of not Raptor. Winner's in a lot of trouble, but now
Raptor could counterwise be in trouble if he continues to chase.
no, he's good, man. He's vibing. They didn't get the dragon. Back now, I guess. Well, we got the flash and the smite out of Winner. He smited the blue. Never mind. But we did get this flash out of him, as now he's struggling to kill the blue.
He will get it. Don't worry. I know you weren't really worried, but
I was a little bit worried. Would casters smite Tibbers if they were the jungler or not?
I wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't. Just because
I don't want to piss off my laner.
Yeah, if you do that in solo queue, they will just... Yeah. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Did the mini raptor end up dying? I think it disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared. I think it despawned. Okay. It was really clean from Enosh and Follow. Splitting there. Not going to get any knockups. Putting some damage back down as Drake is still hanging out. And
Drake?
I guess we're just going to ignore it. Yeah.
Any new albums?
I'm not
Or is he just
sure.
Did you hear that New Jeans has a new album coming up next month?
Yeah, I did hear about that actually. Honestly, I'm aware of it.
Nice.
Will I listen to it? I don't know. I will probably be. I will be subjected to it while walking around in Korea where I live. But I don't know if I will go out of my
I'll
way.
probably listen to it. Their songs are pretty catchy. I don't know if I'll listen to it more than once or twice. I want to be in the know, you know?
Sometimes I like to not be in the know. Sometimes I like to be a hipster and just be like, yeah, I don't know about that popular thing. It's a bit of a weird personality trait for me. The other games? What happened to them?
I don't know.
You mean like
tell
Heroes
me.
of the Storm?
What
What
other
happens?
games?
It's a little bit. We'll talk
Like
about that
Diablo
some other
4,
time.
like we don't stream that one usually. How about Valorant? I think that's going on right now. It might have ended. Probably it might have ended by now.
Yeah, no, it's still ongoing. I see that egghead guy and mustache friend on the thumbnail. They're coming to Korea soon. Gonna hang out with them. Well,
May have to.
you know, this game is shaping up to be a bit of a long one. I
A
think.
banger.
Yes, also a banger, but also
Every
very
game
long.
is a banger if you're a caster.
Because there's no real action happening. I willed it to occur for a brief moment, but have no fear, it is going to end now.
You guys are literally the two voices. I'm glad you made room for us in your head. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot going on in there.
Are you sure about that?
I think so. I mean, I'm gonna assume so. I'm polite and all this. I mean, mostly. Raptor has swept this. He knows they do not know that he is here.
They don't know.
Yeah, can he flash for the assault here? Is he gonna commit?
He has Ultimate.
He's level 8, by the way. He's kind of farming hard. He's just not gonna commit. Oh, Frim couldn't stop the plate. Oh!
Out of midair.
I didn't notice Frim went ghost until just now.
Yeah,
That's kinda cool.
It's kind of like this weird Scion tech we saw from like a week ago, and we weren't really impressed by it, but we understand like kind of why they go for it.
Allows you to get on top of the back line a little bit better, and you know, can allow you to reposition in a team fight and be where you want to be to block damage, and then of course turn. So I do like it. Flash much less relevant, especially in a lane like this where you don't have kill pressure at all. Generally, as you can see here. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have Twitch chat open during the LCK, but during Challengers, it's a very special time, as this is about to be a very special time in the bottom lane for Bro, as Enosh gonna get jumped on, the kick comes through, and, well, Palu's going to get in front of that, as that is going to be first blood over to winner, but Palu did have to eat an immense amount of damage, but worth, I suppose.
Definitely worth. It's going to be first blood. Goes over to Lee Sin, who already has Gore Drinker now locked in. So a lot of money in his pocket here, which he needs desperately since he's been significantly behind on farm. Frim here, will he have to ghost?
Yeah. There it is, but the wallop still comes through as we got action in mid as well. Frim fighting underneath the turret. That's 2 turret shots over to Zest, but the 2 tanks are fine. Meanwhile, at the mid lane, we are also avoiding all action.
Yeah, I feel like we missed a lot of the action that happened there in mid, but it doesn't really matter because no kills go down ultimately, as Frim is trying to get this cannon minion before taking it back. He does have his teleport, so shouldn't feel too bad about this one. And surviving there was very important. If the Gnar actually gets a kill, he becomes a big side lane threat into this matchup.
Without Ghost, he doesn't dodge W or Q, but what if he just flashed it as well?
Yeah.
Flash also would have saved him.
Yeah.
But Ghost has a lower cooldown.
Cooldown, yep. See,
Yeah.
you read my mind. That's exactly what I was
nerfing
going to say.
Ghost. Kind of funny because, like, it just recently, like, within the year became kind of relevant. We realized, like, hey, we don't have to take Flash on every single champion. Or maybe on some champions we can take Ghost and Flash, like 80 carries. Because all the lanes just farm it out. So, yeah, I don't know. They're just nerfing it now. Second it got relevant.
Yeah, well, I mean, the teleport nerfs were really interesting for a while, too. We were seeing, like, Flash Ignite as Zest is really
Zest happy he didn't take Ghost.
Yeah, he is really standing on top of a Scion. That was what he was doing there, but he then flashed away. He now no longer has it. Frim's like, oh, I see we're now both flashless.
It's 13-11, as you can see in the bottom left.
Yeah, I like to call that bottom left tile the FAQ tile. It has a lot of information about what you need to know.
But nobody looks at it ever.
Yeah.
We should put it in the center, I think. That way everybody would see it.
I think we just need a 13.11 watermark throughout the entire screen. Just like subtly in the background. If you squint hard enough, you can see it. Scrolling across the top.
This is Challenger League, not LCK. Faker is on the farm.
Maybe it's time for a new Challengers tradition where every time there's a dragon, we just say, we just let everyone know what patch it's on. As Karis.
We got a fight, by the way. Patch 13-11. Winner is going to go down. And Enosh will pick up a free kill. Not sure what he was doing in there. Trying to set up, probably.
Yeah.
Flank.
Well, this is going to be Zest taking down a turret for this, but Bro happy to take the dragon here. We'll see what soul it's going to be. Is it actually going to be the Hex Tech I was looking for in Game 2?
Buckets and Gloves also wants to know what match it is.
I don't know without looking to the bottom left. Now that I've looked, it's Match21.
Wow. Thank you for the FAQ on how to look at the bottom left.
All right, what Drake is it going to be?
I think it's going to be Drake and featuring Future.
It is Hex Tech. All right,
nice.
So I knew it was going to show up, just like you knew Cloud was coming. We were a little bit early, but we forecasted correctly.
Okay. I have no idea what the next one is going to be then, because we didn't get it wrong this time.
Well, I mean, the next one, I don't know. I mean, that's a new series. That's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah. I mean, things could change, right?
I actually think the next one is going to be Elder. Got him.
Maybe.
Maybe. It might not be, actually. But I think with the state of this game, with the 2 Drake lead here for Bro and 2,000 gold lead for Gen.G, I mean, it might be a while before we see Elder, if we see it at all, as Gen.G are going to start to be able to contest these Drakes a little bit better, you have to imagine.
We have a lot of viewers today, and that's generally a good thing, but we also have a lot of first-time chatters that come in and immediately get banned.
It has happened. It may happen again right now. I might watch somebody disappear in real time.
Somebody is going to immediately disappear.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. They're gone.
They've already disappeared.
They've already left. It's okay. I can do it manually.
Valdez, man, he snipes people.
Yeah, I will not back down.
Imagine never being able to talk in Challengers chat again.
Or even see the chat. Ever again. Got him.
Wow, that's... Okay. What a terrible fate for that one chatter.
Don't come in and insinuate things that are not true.
I don't even, I mean, I saw what he wrote, but I don't know what it means. Like, I'm just a very...
Not missing much. WoW Weekend, CQ, you're cool. He's so edgy. He's like that kid. He's like, yeah, I didn't think that movie was that great. I actually I enjoy Casablanca, actually. It's my favorite.
Casablanca's pretty good,
it's
though.
a great movie.
It's actually really good. Like, he's actually, I think he's pretty cultured, to be honest about this.
If he said that, you know, he'd probably say, actually, the first Avengers movie was the best. Like, I know everybody loves Infinity War. I actually don't even know which Avengers movies are which. That's what makes me cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm so cool because yeah.
You know, I recently came to my attention that the Spider-Man games are very popular and everybody likes them. I've never played it, but I'm kind of thinking about being an anti-hipster on this one and be like, you know what? I think I will try it. I think I will play the Spider-Man games. Any thoughts? You play them?
I think I played one way back in the day, like PS2 era, but hardly even remember. I think we rented it. I think we rented it from Blockbuster.
Gotcha.
I mean, there have been a lot, you know.
I mean, I like Spider-Man is the one superhero that I kind of get down with a little bit. All right, we're gonna see a siege up on this mid turret with no herald or anything like that. So just gonna be a rotation of Gen.G over Zest. His Narbar is still up, but he is gonna time out. Not gonna be anything impactful here. And Gen.G just naturally have a gold lead from taking out that topside turret. I mean, that's the majority of it right there. Frim, you know, this matchup we talked about, this is what I was talking about with Gen.G. Like, they have lane prio here, and no one has solved this problem. Raptor has just let Frim get hit by Hyperprocs. And yes, Zest did stand on top of him one time after flash, but that's no longer relevant. This guy's flash back up.
Yeah, the lane is totally changed.
Gen.G can win, someone asks. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing the game.
Live. Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't lost it yet, so I believe they do have a chance. True. Bro also can win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, in this particular series, for example, Quantum Freaks cannot. Part of the series, so they can't.
Yeah, they're not in the game. Yeah, they can't win.
They can't win, actually. Just to put it in perspective, it's not like everybody in the league can win in this game.
Gen.G are in the lead, but they did give up one Infernal. So it's still very even. I would say the bottom lane, again, like I said this in the draft, I think Bro have the better bottom lane right now in terms of form, and also Inash and Palu are ahead, even though they did get that gank in the bottom lane. The kill went over to Winner. And so even though not much is happening, we have 2 kills in 20 minutes. This feels like a good old 2017 where we sit there and watch Azir and Corki farm for 50 minutes and then the game ends.
But, I mean, it's
not in this series.
Not in this series, no. But it's Pro, so yeah, it's the Challengers team, but this is the identity, okay? Where we just sit back and farm. Frim's like, look, we're scaling. I'll lose my turret. It's cool. All right, now we're fighting, actually. 2 Drakes up. They want to get that Hextech Soul Point, and they do have... And they've got Prio. Let's see how they use it. Okay, there's no LeBlanc poke in this scenario.
Is it Brio because they're Bro? Okay, they're going to throw in a Sejuani ultimate into the choke. Now, Gen.G, all 5 players except Lospa, who's on the big flank, going to go in. But that Scion ultimate was huge onto Ophelia. He has to flash away, and maybe they went a little bit too deep as Ophelia survives, and they chase him for a very long time. Lospa gets in, huge feathers pulled back as Palu going to get jumped on by the Gnar. And Gen.G find the ultimate angle at the end of the day. They're flashing forward. They're taking names, and all 5 of them will live and take the fight.
It looked pretty good there for Bro for a second, but the re-engage was really nice from Zest, and Frim dying early meant there just isn't a whole lot of peel here for Inash, who did have to use both of his summoners. Still goes down, and that's going to be Gen.G actually going straight to a 20.5-minute Baron here after denying Soul Point. They can, of course, use this Baron to then readjust back to, or reset, and then go back to the Drake itself and guarantee that they will deny it. They haven't secured it, but they will with this Baron. Those empowered recalls, we don't even need to watch them. They're happening. Lospa here on the flank, and then this Aphelios ult is actually pretty massive, but Zest, man, that was big. That's a hoo-hoo moment for sure. And then he also is going to do this one more time with his cooldown. Still has his Narbar. Bam.
Now you can vote for Zest.
Yeah.
I mean
if they win, though.
As well.
If they win. Which
Gen.G
I
can
expect. Gen.G can win. It's in the name of the jungler.
Yeah, but Gen.G can win.
Yes.
3,000 gold lead. The Gnar is
I've never seen a team
out.
literally sleeping. Me neither. Well, that's not true. I've actually been on a flight with a pro gaming team, and they were all sitting in the same row, and they were asleep.
So you have.
So actually, I have seen a team literally sleeping.
Wow.
So I take it back actually, but I guess Weez wasn't on that plane. It's okay.
See TSM's 9-man sleep though.
I did see that one live. I was watching that one live, to be honest.
Well, Gen.G now, it was like a 2K lead, now it's like a 6K lead. And all of that talk about the bottom lane, Enosh was not really able to do anything in that fight because he just got Nard.
Yeah, he ulted,
it didn't matter.
And then he couldn't do anything else. He wasn't actually able to freely fight and use his auto attacks to do damage. He was an AD who was not carrying. Actually, he was just an AD. And not an assistant director either. Zest is on the flank. Look at this. He's spotted.
How about an ad for Titan?
Yeah, no, he's... You remember ADD?
I do.
Yeah. What a player.
What a player.
What he's up to these days. I think he's still playing, actually.
Yeah, I think he's playing in...
ECS, maybe?
He's in South America.
Oh, okay.
Not 100% sure where or on what team, but I remember we looked at all the teams and we were looking at the Korean players on it. But yeah, not 100% sure. Someone in chat probably knows.
Someone in chat's probably looking it up and then will act as if they know by posting it, but ultimately it's the same thing. It's the same thing for me. Like, as long as I get the information, that's all I need. So, we were asking where ADD went, the former LCK player.
He used to play on MVP.
Yeah.
One time he got sick, I believe, and then Max played in the top lane.
Yeah, Max, that's
Not
right.
Atlas, but Max.
It was a fun time.
Retired, I think. I feel like he was on
Immortal Challengers, and then he was also Latin American before that.
I think he was in Latin America.
I thought he was
well.
still playing, but maybe not. If anyone knows where Fly is, though, please let me and Atlas know. We've been trying to figure it out for a while. The former Afrika mid laner. We just don't know where he is. There's no information. No
Nobody
clues,
knows,
no hints.
Nobody knows where that guy went. He's just totally gone.
I don't know which alpaca farm he's on, but... Or if he is on one. I don't know. We're just going to sit and farm for a little bit, though. That's what we're doing here. Bro and brew, if you guys have got something, maybe now's the time to go pull it out of the fridge, because it's going to be about 2 minutes before we get to this next Drake fight. Or Baron, but likely to be Drake first. Gen.G looking for that third item onto Carfe, but realistically, it's just about the setup they have here. Also, the Gnar, a big problem in the side lane now. This is what happens when Gnar plays against tanks. He actually becomes a side lane threat. He's not always a side lane threat, but when he gets Hullbreaker into a tank, he is. And it becomes very difficult to kill him.
He's gonna, I mean, we saw Frim actually got like a pretty good engage, but the issue is that their kite pack potential on the side of Gen.G is just way too
I mean, look at this
like
gold
so
lead.
far.
It's so
into the
funny
back
how
line.
it's so funny, Valdez, how like he just sat there in lane and hit turrets and killed minions, and now he's 4,000 gold ahead after one team fight. And like, Frima's never been given any resources at all. He's just like sitting here taking Gnar abuse. He's 2 levels down, and that was like the story at the beginning of the game. It's the story at this mid game, and I think it's probably going to be the story at the end of the game as well. And now you can't punish Zest. You could have punished him earlier as Raptor, but now it's like, well, he's got Hullbreaker, so good luck.
This is what happens when you sit here and do nothing for the whole early and mid game.
Yeah, let's see what happens in late game. If there's more nothing, I mean, it's not going to be a positive situation for the side of the OK Savings Bank Breon. It will not be an OK situation either. It'd be not okay, bro, actually.
Not okay, man, bro. At the moment, but it will change in the future, I think.
25 seconds until this Drake. All the resets complete here. Carfe actually moving towards Baron right now. Looks like Gen.G might try to greed for both objectives here. As Bro are just not in a position to fight right now. They have no map control. They have control wards. Gen.G do around that Drake pit, and they know that Bro are not in that area, so want to put the focus on the top side of the map first. And man, this game just straight up feels like a 5v4 because Vrim is so irrelevant, unfortunately. Now that they are able to get Baron vision, they go to the Drake, take that, take it for free, straight up, and
Bro are playing for the Elder Flip. They're like, we got 2 more Drakes in the tank. We have 10 more minutes.
yeah,
That's 36, 37 minutes even.
it could be like 15 more minutes if they take one of these Drakes. Like Raptors,
Yeah.
like, if I steal, we get even more time.
It's
So
actually technically 5, and then they get the Drake, and then it's another 5, and then they get the other Drake, and then it's another 6
Oh,
for
true,
the Elder
true,
to
true,
spawn.
true.
So it's 16 minutes. I did that math right now. I know, it's incredible.
Wow.
So that's a really long time from now.
a math
Bro are just waiting.
capable caster. I've never seen that before.
And now Bro are just going to start the Baron.
Okay, now Bro says this is the time where we fight because Zest is showing bottom, but he has TP. He's going to use it with his Narbar.
I mean, I don't think they have enough damage on this one. And now Winner gets in and he steals it. Oh no, it's just a straight up flip and down will go Prim. Now he really can't do anything. The front to back is here. We do see Enosh is desperate to do some damage, but unfortunately just a little bit too far behind and lost his whole front line. Meanwhile, Tivers is just getting to work on him, and they're being kited up the lane here as well. The Q is going to miss for Enosh. The Q misses for Winner as well. He's got some damage coming in, but gets hopped on by Gnar. And Karis is alone now, does not have the Spirit Rush, but he does have the Yuumi to try to help out here. As getting on top of the Ahri, he will. That's going to be a full ace in favor of Gen.G. And now with their 11,000 gold lead, should be able to win the game eventually.
Gnar also doing almost as much damage as Xayah. You know, it's just one of those situations where you know Zest is level 18. He's going to get POG. It's just, it's his playground. That's what this game is. The Rift is his. It belongs to him. As the steal from Winner is almost comical because they have no vision of the outside of the pit. They see the Lee Sin coming in, and yet still commit. With no secure whatsoever, while also not having control of the left flank for the exit. I mean, this was about as sloppy as it gets, and this is the frustration for Bro fans, is that Bro, both in LCK and in Challengers, they will do nothing, and then they'll be like, now's the time. I'm like, no, this is actually not the time. Like, not even close. The time you decide to go is not it.
I told them the angle, too. I mean, they're not listening, obviously, but just sit and wait, right? I mean, maybe you just get pushed in the side lane, but I think that was a better chance of winning that way compared to this.
I mean, you have to set up a turn or really make sure you hold those flank angles, and this is just insult to injury at this point. I think the game is 100% done now. Someone in chat asked, can Bro win? I mean, it may not technically be true, but I would say no. It's now a 7,000 gold lead for Gnar alone. 7,000?
How is that even possible?
Challengers.
Challengers.
Challengers, as it is colloquially called by hardcore fans.
I'm going to refer to the Challenger league that we got here.
Total damage still? Honestly, I'm aware of it.
Honestly, Zest is getting the POG. Reliever,
Thanks,
they can
production,
win
but
just
honestly,
late
I'm aware
game.
of it. I'm aware of it.
Honestly. Don't go late and it's GG. Yeah, I don't think Bro's ever going to get a chance to go late. Also, at this point, you're too far behind. Like, you'd have to go like 20 minutes and win a couple of really scrappy fights that Gen.G make mistakes in. How does he do that much damage? He's laning against a literal balloon. Just a dude standing there getting hit over and over.
It's a durable balloon, though. It's not popping.
True.
It's only popped twice this game.
He's definitely not popping.
He's like poking a balloon with an eraser. But we're always scared that it will pop. We're like, ooh, he's popping really, pushing really hard with that
It's
eraser.
just bouncing off, yeah. It's like an inflated tire or something.
It's deflating very quickly, though, isn't it?
You can flip it, but it's not gonna pop. Sion can't do anything. He just sits there. Doesn't even have flash.
Well, this one is going to get a little bit sad, you know.
Well, at least Gen.G are really going to make them feel it.
So will Bro either A, this is a test for you guys in the chat, will Bro either A, sit back and let Soul Point go over and do nothing, or B, try to push really hard with no vision and lose the team fight and lose the game? What do you guys think, chat? Wow, chat was, for the most part, really paying attention. The correct answer is A.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they can't push out. So.
Well, I mean, they did decide that they could do the Baron moments ago. That was... Sure. But yeah, they should not do this. Now, if they can get a steal, like we said, they can buy a lot of time.
I like this.
The
it's
elder
like
flip
interactive
angle.
Chat.
Look, Aphelios has a gold lead.
You can see chat? No, I can't see chat. What do you mean, Cast?
I can't see chat.
No, what do you mean?
I have it disabled on my monitor.
Replay? No, no replay of that dragon. Why would we put a replay of the dragon? Nothing happened. That guy's not paying attention. Uh-oh, Cast got hit by the Nightbot. Unfortunate. He used a naughty word.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
But it was in a positive way. But Nightbot doesn't know about that.
Nightbot's still learning. Nightbot's still in development. A little bit ahead of YouTube chat, but, you know, progress is being made. Sorry about that, but you'll be back in a little while. Oh, it's just deleted the message.
Yeah,
okay.
He's here.
Oh, I'm glad he's still here. All right. I was about to have to go manual on that one. Bring him back.
You're going to have to take a hands-on approach.
See, Nightbot's learning. Like I said, they just...
Yeah.
I mean, it still deleted a message that didn't need to be, but, you know, didn't ban him or time him out or anything. So it is a... Who would win? A 4-item Aphelios or a full build Gnar 5-0 and 4 level 18?
Is this like another quiz question, A or B?
No. This is just a meme.
Choose A if you think that Enosh can carry his team. Choose B if you think that Zest can carry his team.
Bro's just gonna do this again.
They're gonna do the Baron.
I mean, it's a lot of damage. Karus on the flank. They actually have Freeman good position.
Wait, Gen.G aren't doing anything. They're just trying to flip it. He's gonna get it again. You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Yes. Okay.
No.
That's the end of the front line. Prim is gonna get away because the Q misses, and yeah, they're all dead. Nice try, bro. You gave it a shot, but at the end of the day, the correct answer was B. Zest is going to, well, engage, and then Carfe is going to do 10,000 damage. That's the end of the game, guys. Pack it up.
Man,
it's Brover.
Bro showed so much improvement in week 2, but here in week 3, it is not their day, let's just say. Great game from Paulo in game 1, but this one is all locked up. That's going to be a Zest vote for me. Gonna have to put it in.
No, there's gonna be that one hipster vote that goes towards also Zest, but yeah, everybody's gonna vote for Zest, and that's the end of the game. GG.
Zest is best, man. That's someone in the chat who knows.
And at the end of the day, all he did was sit there and bully a Scion, and then he had perfect ults in fights.
Yeah.
And Bro did not play around that at all. It was like, what does this Gnar champ do? We haven't seen it for a while. They did ban it in game number 2, by the way. Did Bro. In the second rotation.
It did not work out to leave it open. Is this
college? No. No, it's not college. This is League of Legends.
It's not college. I'm glad that you clarified that because it can be confusing for some. But
I know it looks like college, but no, it's
not collard greens either.
Although we did see Zest put on I was gonna say clinic, but that doesn't really work.
Yeah,
a lesson? Taught him a lesson? Okay, there we go. That
it was a lecture.
Yeah.
Actually out-damaged by Xayah, though, somehow. That last fight, too much damage from Carfe. I feel like he's a bit robbed of getting top damage here.
I swear if Xayah wins this POG, I will not be happy.
Not going to be happy.
Zest the same Zest from Valorant? No, it's the same Zest from SC2.
No, it's not the same Zest from SC2. Is it the same Zest from Overwatch? No, it's not, actually.
How do you know? They all have the same name. There's 4 Zests.
I want to get into this, Valdez. I've had enough negativity come out of my mouth today. We got 2 more best of 3s. Okay, we could have a 9-gamer on our hands.
Is it the same Zest on my lemon? No, it's not. It's the same Zest from lemon. They said like the same thing at the same time.
Just give me the POG. Just let me know who it's gonna be. I need to know. I need to know that my Zest is getting it. He's got to get it right.
Zest? I thought your Zest was the Overwatch guy.
No, my Zest was really.
Do you take ownership over a Zest?
In this game, yeah, he's mine.
Okay.
I voted for him in game 2. He got robbed by Ophelius LeBlanc Static Shiv proc. But he will not be robbed in game 3.
No robbery.
Whoa, you and I are just starting to say the same words.
You and I are just, yeah.
Sorry, it's getting a little bit weird.
Sorry.
But we got
I'll
him.
Recalibrate.
I'm sure it was unanimous. And I'm glad that, honestly, they were aware of it. That he was the best.
Yeah. We were aware that Zest was the real carry. And, yeah, I mean, he was insane. It really comes down to the one team fight we had. I mean, we had some after that, but they didn't quite matter as much as that one team fight.
Yundo confirmed it's unanimous. Nice.
This time... No, it's CC score. Crowd control score.
Yeah, that's how much crowd controlling he was doing. He did a lot of damage, 33% almost. Almost a third. He and Zaya making up 2/3 of the damage together. Carfe, I think, having a bit of a bounce back in this one. The game 1 was not great. A lot of it, of course, unfortunately, is support making some errors, but
HLE? No, this is Zest from Gen.G, not HLE.
It will be HLE.
It says it behind his head.
Yeah, it will be HLE coming up next, though. It will be HLE versus KT Rolls-Royce, our second series.
Content creator score.
Content creator score.
Yeah. Speaking of which, now we have time to create some content at the caster community and chat corner or something. That's only 3 C's. What is the 4th one?
I don't know. Why does
caster?
Why does he do
caster this? And chat community corner?
I just like to call it the Chronicler, because he made it, and I don't want to learn it.
Ronnie Keckler. What's your garlic? We had this discussion, you know.
Not doing it. Not doing it.
We had this discussion on LCK already.
Nope. I had garlic today in my pasta. It was good.
I don't think I've had garlic today. There wasn't any on my toast with peanut butter, which, by the way, smooth peanut butter. We accidentally got it. I know you're a big enjoyer. Weird. And no garlic on my Subway sandwich. Well, I guess I have to have it for dinner.
Yeah, probably. What are we going to do? I guess we're getting like curry with garlic. I don't know.
We can. 9-hour cast Inc. Well, the thing is, okay, so we've had this discussion before. We have a lot of time now. 6 games is pretty based. 9 games is like Omega base. That's the best.
Yeah.
7 and 8 is just cringe. Like, we don't want any of that 7 or 8. Like, why would you even do that?
Yeah, like, right? If you're not going to be a 6 gamer or a 9 gamer, like, you're just going halfway. You're just in the middle.
Just half-baked.
Like, are you a 6 gamer or a 9 gamer? Okay, those both add up to nice.
No
right?
half measure. You need to take a full measure.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I learned from Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
I sound disappointed about what? Do I
Have
sound
you met
angry
Wolf?
now? Do I sound angry now?
Yes. Who won?
I think the 9 gamers.
I don't know, man. TSM.
I think 9 games are happening, Yundo.
I don't think 9 games are happening. D+ is playing.
But it's challenges. As soon
I think
as
it's
you
going to be
think,
an 8 gamer.
As soon as you think it's going to be an 8 gamer, it's going to be a 9 gamer.
I'm predicting an 8 gamer. Riot promised a huge mid-season shakeup, and instead we went straight back to 2021, 2022. So reasonable to be disappointed. See, Denunciator is reading your mind.
That's exactly what disappoints me.
Nothing you guys else. Wearing pants? In fact, I'm not.
In fact, I am.
Honestly, you should be aware of the fact that I'm wearing shorts because it is really hot outside.
Honestly, I'm aware of it. This is my favorite new meme. It's so good.
Chad doesn't even know where it's from.
Chad doesn't even know. Maybe we'll explain to them if we have some downtime later. Not during the downtime we have right now.
Some time now.
Nah, I want to keep it a secret.
Stand up, Valdez. No. You can't make me. Also, I'm an AI, and I don't actually have.
Here, I just raised my pants above the. Yeah, so you guys can see.
I can't see anything.
Oh, if you're low IQ, you can't see, but it's fine. I'm wearing pants where you have to have a certain level.
Can you please update my AI so that I'm at least on your level? Are you guys casting from Korea? Yes.
It's okay. I'm sure chat saw it.
Room. Chat saw it. Yeah. What if you guys got pants with a mic stand attached? No. See. No, like we have a chair and it's got like a armrest, so you put our arm on the, and it's like, like a straight line, so the pressure's like handled really well, and we're good, we're fine. We don't need a mic stand, especially not one on our pants. Reminds me of the time I went to Lol Park and realized that Papa Smithy had long legs.
Today is going to actually just kill me. I'm not going to make it through. I'm not going to make it through today. I'm just not going to make it through.
Oh,
man. So chat, like if I either disappear or like you see me dead here in this
that happened
chair.
To Ox.
Yeah,
first time he cast.
Ox did disappear.
Yeah.
I was gonna say know that I'm okay, but like no, actually I'm not. Know that I'm not okay. Well, that you should not be surprised. Yeah, it's
yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm only a third of the way there. When you're like on a run or like on a long bike trip, you're on your bicycle and you're not even halfway there, but you're like, ooh, I think I might have to bail early.
I have to call it early.
I'm not calling it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can go the full distance.
Why the expensive suits for this and not the normal LCK? I hate to break it to you, but these suits aren't any more expensive than the LCK ones.
Yeah, this one was only like maybe 2,200. So
1,000?
No, USD. 2,200 USD. This one was like it's a pretty cheap one, but like
$2,200.
Yeah, $2,200. Yeah. This one's like it's a pretty cheap.
Why would you even wear that?
I mean,
I only am 10K or above Wolf. Okay.
I mean, this is challengers like LCK. That's where I pull out the big money, but I mean, guys like. In esports, we actually wear pretty expensive clothes, and we have really nice. This is actually made of pure diamond, the LCK CL badge.
That's why it's so shiny.
Yeah. Now this is actually just a cheap zip tie. I'll be honest with you guys, but the suit is very expensive.
22,000 Korean won. Yeah, that's probably closer. It's definitely closer. I don't know if it's close. It's pure kryptonite, actually. Thankfully, I'm not Superman.
Pure diamond, just like my ELO Sag.
What's wrong with diamond ELO? It's pretty good.
You guys have to hold the mics the whole time. I mean, we don't have to, but then if we don't, you can't hear us.
I could just put it down, yeah. He did it. You can't hear him now, see? Try to talk, see what happens.
I'm talking. You guys can't hear me.
You can't hear him. Oh, my God.
You can
hear
me now. That's what happens if you don't hold it the whole time. That's what now you guys have learned.
Who replaces Faker when it happens? It's gonna be Poby. Poby's he's coming up.
I don't think we have any idea right now.
Don't your hands get tired? Actually, I do about 10,000 reps of grip strength every morning, so. That's what allows me to hold the mic.
When he actually does what he likes to call grip strength, where he at home takes his hand mic and raises it. How many did you say?
That looks kind of weird. No, 10,000.
Oh, sorry, 10,000. Sorry, I thought he only did 200 reps. He does 10,000. So.
Okay. Chat was,
that's what he does with his grip strength training.
No, I use a very specific tool. That's why my hands are so chunky.
Tool, yeah. Which is a microphone he has at home, which is identical to the one he's holding. Yeah. It's just not attached to a cord because it's only for grip strength training.
Hashtag grip strength. No moisturizer. Actually, it's better if your hands are dry. No, we're not. We're not getting into this. Okay.
I just said grip strength training. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. How heavy are those mics? Well, they're made of pure iron. So they're like at
No
least
clue
30.
of what it's actually
They're
made
like
out of.
35 pounds in freedom numbers. I don't know about the other ones. Maybe like 15 kilos. The blood of iron players.
This is a really long interview.
Yeah.
This is like it's quite extensive.
Hashtag grip strength. Yes. Why are there such drastic meta differences between challengers and LCK? Lack of familiarity with the champions. I expected Emilio pick last game from at least Gen.G.
There's a lot less champion mastery in challengers because the players are still very young. So it takes a lot of time to focus on one thing or another.
All right, final question. How heavy is the guilt of this conversation? Guys, we're going to have to stop comment, and we'll be back for the second series in about a half hour. Don't go anywhere.